Billions of nanobots from the future are injected into a man's body. This begins his invincible path to godhood. Just because I'm the illegitimate son of the demon cult leader and a maid, I have the qualification to be an heir. So even though I can't practice martial arts, the other heirs send the demon subjugation squad to assassinate me. In this desperate situation, I still manage to kill one of them. This is beyond their expectations, but this causes the others to torture me even more brutally. Just as I'm critically injured and dying, the upper body of the person on top of me suddenly explodes. A man in strange clothes appears out of thin air. In an instant, he kills all the enemies. He seems unable to stay here for long. He affectionately calls me ancestor. He injects an unknown liquid into my body. He begs me, his ancestor, to succeed, so that he, as a descendant, can benefit from it. After speaking, his figure disappears. This is the world of martial arts. Among the sects, there are righteous ones who uphold justice. There are also heretical evil sects. And there's the demon path, which pursues domination and worships only powerful strength. The next day, I wake up startled in bed. My whole body is sticky and there's a foul smell. A voice calling itself Sky Collaborator Generation 7 Nanobots sounds in my ear. It has completely repaired my body. Massive amounts of information flood into my mind. I can't help but vomit. In this martial arts world, I'm equipped with 648.24 million nanobots throughout my body. My half-brothers have always wanted to kill me. Now, these mysterious nanobots in my body don't seem like a good thing at all. At this moment, my guard arrives with a doctor. I quickly lie down, pretending to be weak. The doctor comes forward to check my pulse, but the result shocks him greatly. All metabolic waste in my body has been expelled, and the circulation of my 8 extraordinary meridians has become active. I don't understand what this means. This means my body has become the most suitable constitution for practicing martial arts. It turns out that nanobots removed the impurities in my body and adjusted my system to the ideal state. The demon path has 6 major sects. The demon cult leader takes daughters from each sect as wives to produce offspring. The offspring qualify as successor candidates and enter the demon path academy at a certain age. The demon path academy opens once every 10 years, a period the demon cult calls the successor battle. Seeing nothing abnormal with my body, the doctor only prescribes some medicine to restore vitality. On his way out, he doesn't believe a human body could undergo such miraculous changes. I, who originally couldn't even learn martial arts, now am no less qualified than the other young masters of the 6 major sects. To achieve this level, he speculates the cult leader is secretly helping. I wash off the filth from my body. Then I ask the nanobots what level they can restore my body to. Stab wounds or internal organ damage from external impact to be repaired immediately. However, blood loss and severed body parts require cell division to recover, so they take longer. Although I don't understand, there's no harm in trying. I cut a wound on my hand, then a tingling sensation comes. Sure enough, the wound heals in an instant. Under the nanobot's reconstruction, my body becomes more robust, as if I've accumulated external martial arts training. The name Nano Robot is really awkward to say, so I rename it Nano. Next, I go to the study to use Nano's other functions. I take out a book of knowledge. As my fingers keep flipping through it, Nano completes the scan. It asks whether to transfer to the user's brain. After I agree, a memory appears out of nowhere in my mind. I can immediately recite the book's knowledge backwards and forwards. And it's not just memorization, I actually understand the content. Nano also automatically corrects errors in the book before transferring it to me. Doesn't this mean I can master things faster than anyone? Those from the 6 major sects have learned various martial arts since childhood, but under their covenant and surveillance, I've only learned Taoist breathing techniques. The Demon Path Academy has the most martial arts books in the world. With this ability, I'm confident I can become stronger faster than anyone in the academy and survive. At this moment, Xian Mugjiam of the Demon Subjugation sect learns I'm not dead yet. He decides to kill me personally in the academy. Today is the academy entrance day. I'm so nervous I don't sleep all night. I'm thinking about secretly learning Garjang's short sword technique for self-defense. But before my mother died, she established a covenant that I couldn't learn martial arts before entering the academy. If I learn secretly, the 6 sects monitoring me definitely won't let it go. At this moment, Nano asks me if I want to scan Garjang's training movements. Can it actually scan someone else's movements and transfer them to my brain? Nano says its program contains various martial arts data and can transfer it to me now. But in the martial arts world, stealing someone's martial arts is taboo. There's no time to hesitate. At noon, I'll have to enter the academy alone. I tell Nano to scan for me. The scan takes about half an hour. Finally, all movements are scanned. Nano begins transferring to the user's brain. I feel what's in my mind. This is really outrageous. I actually learned Garjang's short sword technique directly. I thrust out with the sword. The movement is identical to Garjang's after 20 years of practice. While I practice the scanned movements, Nano analyzed the developed muscle fibers and meridians. It asks if I want to transfer these substances to my body's muscles. Suddenly, a sharp pain runs through my body. Nano explains that even though my body has familiarized itself with the movements through simulation, the developed substances must be transferred to the muscles to fully execute the movements. The transfer will take about an hour and can be completed before entering the academy. I agree. However, the next moment, excruciating pain makes me wish I were dead. Nano activates anesthesia mode, making me lose consciousness. Garjang is cooking for me in the kitchen. Before she died, my mother entrusted me to him. 5 years have passed and I've grown up. He prays for Lady Spirit to protect me and help me survive in the academy. At this moment, my screams reach his ears. Frightened, he immediately comes to check. He checks my pulse but finds nothing abnormal. Then he notices the footprints I left earlier using the short sword technique. He believes I've watched him train for at most 2 years. To catch up to his 20 years of short sword practice just by watching with the naked eye in 2 years is truly astonishing. After the substance transfer is complete, I wake up. Practicing the short sword technique shouldn't hurt now. I thrust out with the sword to test it. Although it's the same move as before, before, it's more precise and powerful. What I just performed was the first form. Now it's a footwork pattern from the second form. Even without cultivating internal energy, it leaves footprints like this. If Garjang sees this, it'll be serious. At this moment, Garjang comes in with food. I quickly move the table to cover the footprints. It's all my favorite food. I just consumed too much energy, so I start devouring the food. Just as I finish eating, Garjang asks when I learned his short sword technique. He looks at the table in front of him. The footprints are clearly exposed. I stammer, not knowing how to explain, but he praises me for doing well. He's my subordinate. If it weren't for the covenant with the 6 major sects, he would have taught me long ago. He takes out the internal energy cultivation method for the short sword technique. Although he also wants to teach me internal cultivation techniques, the academy has many techniques superior to his. I can't help but cry. I've only cried twice in my life, when my mother died, and now. I swear I will never shed tears again. Don't hesitate or be afraid anymore. Although my mother is gone, I still have a place to call home. Soon, the Demon Path Academy officially opens. All sects of the demon cult gather here. A figure on the high platform slowly steps forward. He is the cult leader's left protector, King Yama Li Huamayong. The weaklings below disappoint him. Those in the front row have quite the presence though. They are the young masters of the 6 major sects. The nameplates numbered 1 to 6 on their chests prove their identities. But the 7th young master, me, is nowhere to be seen. Meanwhile, I'm told my nameplate is missing and I have to wait here until it's found. Someone from the 6 major sects definitely tampered with it. Don't they want to stand in the same row as me? Those people have always wanted to kill me. I survived your attempts and made it here. I will become stronger and make them pay. Finally getting my nameplate, I can only stand at the very back. The people in front whisper and point at me. I know what they're talking about without listening, but let them talk. Li Huamyong notices me at the back. Being ostracized to the last row is quite amusing. The horn sounds, announcing the cult leader's arrival. Several powerful figures appear. The drunken right protector Madblade Yop Meng staggers and bumps into Li Huamyong. He mocks Yop Meng for coming in such shabby clothes. Yop Meng burps and glares back at this red-haired person. Grand Protector Underworld King Ma Ragyom orders them to be quiet. The cult leader takes his seat. He is one of the 5 great masters of the martial world, the heavenly demon divine cult leader, Jiao Yuzhong. The powerful pressure makes others unable to lift their heads. His profound internal energy makes his voice soft, yet it reaches everyone. The brief entrance speech ends. The entire venue erupts in deafening cheers. As he leaves, he glances at me. Without another look, he turns and leaves. Meeting for the first time, his gaze is so cold, but this is within my expectations. Next, the formal entrance officially begins. The academy term is 4 years with a total of 6 stages. Each stage's advancement exam can only be attempted once. Students who fail the exam are eliminated on the spot. Number 2, Cheong Gyung Un of the Sword Demon sect asks a question. Li Hua Myong scolds him for not having the right to ask questions. Always arrogant, he instantly gets angry. Li Hua Myong warns him that from the moment of entrance, the privileges of the 6 major sects and cult members are gone. Do you want to be eliminated before the successor battle even begins? The other young masters laugh mockingly. He can only lower his head and apologize. However, Li Hua Myong knows what he wants to ask. Those who pass the exam and advance to the next stage receive 3 special rewards. The first reward is the Demon Dragon Orb. Absorbing its energy grants 20 years of internal power. I currently have no internal power at all. If I can pass the exam, I might be able to greatly increase my internal power in a short time. The second reward is Martial Arts Secret Manuals. Each time you pass a stage exam, 1 floor of the secret manual library opens. Based on performance, there will also be opportunities to learn the 6 major sects' secret techniques or his unique martial arts. Compared to internal power, obtaining secret manuals is more urgent. The third reward is ranks and positions you've never had before. Even these successor candidates have no positions. This is a world where the strong prey on the weak. Fighting your way up is the way to survive. Now, to assign dormitories and teams, the first stage exam begins. I'm dumbfounded. How can we go straight into the first stage exam without learning anything? The first stage tests basic aptitude. You must at least have internal power. Those without even basic internal power will be assigned to menial tasks at the cult's lowest level. I understand. This is why the ladies of the 6 major sects made me swear not to learn internal power. If I can't pass the exam, I'll have the most lowly status in the cult. Then they'll definitely kill me openly. The heavenly demon divine cult's 5th elder demon sound sect master Hyang So Yu appears. She's in charge of the first stage exam. The next moment, everyone nervously covers their ears. However, with a minimum internal power, you can endure her music for 15 minutes. Anyone who doesn't faint from the music within 15 minutes passes the exam. As Hyang So Yu plucks the strings, the piercing music rapidly spreads. Even covering your ears, you can still hear it. Most of those from unknown sects in the middle have already collapsed. The successor candidates from the 6 major sects and young masters from upper tier sects are holding up fine. They've consumed many miraculous elixirs since childhood and already possess considerable internal power. But Hyang So Yu keeps increasing the speed of her playing. Even they are struggling now. Why is this? Hyang So Yu doesn't understand why either. Why haven't I collapsed yet? I don't know what's happening either. Half the people on the field are lying on the ground. At this moment, Nano explains. It detected intense high and low frequency sound waves that could seriously harm my body, so it activated emergency defense mode to block the sound waves. It temporarily shut down the body's sound sensing organs to block external impact. It directly transmits information to my brain instead. Hyang So Yu on the platform stares intently at me. I can't stop trembling. Li Hua Myong notices the 5th elder's agitated playing. He heard I have no internal power at all, but now it seems otherwise. Since becoming the academy's director, this is the first time he's seen such an interesting first stage exam. Many people's ears are already bleeding. Shan Mujiam also notices something's wrong. He instantly thinks of me at the back. The other young masters are drawn by his frightened expression. They turn around and see me standing straight. How is this possible? Why is someone without internal power unharmed? There's only one possibility. He has internal power. I can see those people are angry. Nano begins analyzing their faces. These are the facial muscle states that appear when feeling absurd, surprised, annoyed, and angry. If I pass the exam unharmed like this, no one will believe me even if I say I have no internal power. I ask Nano if it can force internal injuries on me. Although possible, Nano doesn't recommend I deliberately harm my own body. It's fine. Make me suffer internal injuries and vomit blood when the performance is about to end. It's almost 15 minutes. That lowlife is persisting so calmly. Hyang So-yu's pride won't allow it to end like this. Let's see if you can withstand my performance infused with half my power. Sound waves at this level are unbearable for others. Li Huamyong hurriedly stops Hyang So-yu's performance. Only then does she come to her senses. Everyone except me has collapsed. Yup Mang knows if it continued any longer, everyone would be eliminated. The cult's fifth elder really made a spectacle of herself. Hyang So-yu blames all this on me, this lowlife. It's all because I violated the 6 major sects covenant and learned internal power. At this moment, Nano executes my earlier command. I start violently spewing blood. Others don't know what's happening now. Nano's execution of my command severely damaged my internal organs and caused maximum blood backflow. I almost think I'm going to die and can't help calling it crazy. Blood keeps gushing out. After all, I'm the cult leader's bloodline. If I die, it'll be troublesome. As the administrator, Li Huamyong is responsible. Nano will implement self-repair of organs and increase blood. I tell it not yet. Wait a bit longer. Nano issues a near-death warning. Li Huamyong checks what level my internal power is at to have persisted to this extent, but the result shocks him greatly. I actually have no internal power at all. This person passed the first stage exam purely through willpower. He has guards send me to the infirmary. I quickly tell Nano to heal me. Such powerful willpower. If it weren't because I'm illegitimate, Li Huamyong would want to take me as a disciple. Yup Mang learns I held on through willpower and becomes interested. Li Huamyong tells him to crawl back to whatever corner and drink his booze. Powerful killing intent radiates between the two. Yup Mang doesn't want to waste time with him and turns to leave. Today's kids really have no willpower. Collapsing from that level of sound waves. That illegitimate son is exactly to his liking. I lie on the infirmary bed. Dr. Bake has never seen a patient who vomited so much blood from just internal injuries. He reaches out to check my pulse. I secretly glance at him. Nano almost completely healed the internal injuries before I even reach the infirmary. Although it still hurts, I have to endure until the treatment ends. From the pulse, my internal injuries are indeed severe. He's thinking about using acupuncture on me. Suddenly the door is kicked open. Yup Mang leisurely arrives at the infirmary. He asks ominously why I'm pretending to sleep. Using only internal power, he lifts my body. My body is frozen like it's fixed in place. I can't move. Yup Mang warns if I keep pretending to sleep, he'll hit my face. Sure enough, I'm discovered. I ask how he knew. A master at this protector's level can tell your condition just by hearing your breathing. These greenhorns only have appearances, not one decent person among them. You're quite decent though, although I didn't hold on through willpower either. Dr. Bake reminds him that treating me is more important. I cough up another mouthful of blood. Yup Mang sees my complexion is indeed poor. Like a warm current flows into my body, restoring some strength. Now Yup Mang gets to business. Kid, I'll take you as my disciple. Dr. Bake and I are both stunned. He takes 2 more gulps of wine. I ask if he doesn't know who I am, but everyone in the demon path knows me. If you take me as a disciple, those people from the 6 major sects will hate you. How ridiculous. If this protector wants to take a disciple, what can those people do? This is a perfect opportunity for me, but it could also be a trap. Yup Mang sees I'm very suspicious. It's understandable given the life I've lived. Then I'll give you a tempting proposal. Yup Mang slaps something on the bedside. Seems you're not worried about falling behind at all. Although you survived the first stage exam through willpower, can you really pass the second stage without internal power? Staying in the infirmary for 14 days means falling far behind everyone else. Although Nano can heal me immediately. If I don't want to arouse suspicion, I need to stay here for now. Others besides me also suffered internal injuries, but they can circulate internal energy to heal, so they don't need the infirmary. No wonder I'm the only one here, because I don't know how to circulate internal energy at all. Suddenly I have a flash of inspiration and remember something. Those who pass the first stage exam receive the Demon Dragon Orb and can use the first floor of the Secret Manual Library. The Academy's Secret Manual Library isn't a place you can freely enter. Each time you pass a stage exam, you can only use it once for 1 hour, and you can't copy inside. You must memorize everything. In 1 hour, you can memorize 2 books at most. But this is completely advantageous for me. With Nano scanning ability, I can scan nearly 100 books in 1 hour. My starting point is different from the others. They basically all learn their sex martial arts before entering the Academy. To survive the threat of the 6 major sects, should I become the right protector's disciple? Is the paper at my bedside an internal cultivation technique? You guessed right. If you become this protector's disciple, I'll immediately start teaching you internal cultivation techniques. I shakily prop myself up from the bed. I heavily kneel on the ground. I will take the right protector as my master. Please accept this disciple's bow. Yup Mang lifts me up. He tells me the Qian family bloodline doesn't need to bow 3 times and kowtow 9 times to anyone except the cult leader. Before I come next time, memorize the internal cultivation technique first. I'm leaving now. Remember to take good care of my disciple. Dr. Bake and I watch Yup Mang's back, somewhat speechless. After Nano and now the right protector, special opportunities keep appearing around me. Mother, guard Jang. In the academy where enemies surround me. For the first time, someone stands on my side. Those who pass the first stage exam are all cultivating internal power at the Grand Training Ground. The academy's head instructor reports a total of 415 people passed the exam, about 200 fewer than the previous generation. As expected, Elder Hyang's musical technique was too excessive. Some eliminated people are dissatisfied. Then subdue all those who resist and expel them from the demon path. This is the fate of the weak. Among those who passed the first stage exam, many are quite capable. Elder Hyang's sound waves were infused with half her power, yet they were unaffected. This means they've cultivated at least 60 years of internal power. This successor battle will be very interesting. The next day, the academy distributes bronze badges symbolizing the cult's lower warriors. In the academy, you're not allowed to answer yes or no to any instructor, including this director. You can only answer demon path. Understood? All students answer in unison, demon path. Then let's begin dividing into groups. Dr. Bake has prepared all the materials. Now the treatment officially begins. Nano detects someone attempting to damage the user's body from outside with sharp iron needles, switching to emergency defense mode. No, stop. Can't you distinguish between attack and treatment? Fortunately, emergency defense mode was stopped in time. I I tell Nano that in the future, it doesn't need to react to everything I voluntarily accept. After the acupuncture, my stomach feels a bit more comfortable. Nano lists detailed information for my understanding. Suddenly, I think of an idea. I ask Nano if it can heal me first but prevent the doctor from noticing when he checks my pulse. Nano says it can freely alter the pulse during examination. If so, I can make time to learn internal cultivation from the right protector. Continue treating me, Nano. At this moment, groups have been assigned, and the next exam is explained. To participate in the second stage exam and become an ultimate warrior, you must be familiar with basic tactics and combat strategies. You only have 21 days. This is undoubtedly a huge challenge for ordinary people. There are 20 groups total. In the competition 3 weeks later, only 10 groups can advance to the next stage. Starting tomorrow, the instructors before you will very kindly teach you tactics and combat strategies. Everyone recalls the scene of them knocking out and dragging away those who resisted and trembles. After dismissal is announced, everyone leaves. Only Cheon Woo-gyum from group 8 remains. He tells the instructor that student number 7 from the group went to the infirmary. He doesn't want the entire group to be eliminated in the group exam because of one missing member. So he wants to tell student number 7 what they heard today. Lowlife, to be grouped with me. Then I'll personally crush your limbs. The instructor praises his good attitude. Seems he already understands the essence of the group exam. This instructor will actively consider student number 3's opinion and personally go to the infirmary to inform student number 7. Cheon Woo-gyum says he can go himself. No need for such trouble. Do you think students can freely enter and leave the academy? Even if he says he's a demon subjugation sect successor candidate, it won't work in this place. Then I'll leave it to you, instructor. In that case, I'll wait until he returns to his quarters before acting. I'll make you feel excruciating pain and beg for death. The instructor is shocked to learn I need 14 more days of treatment. He hopes the group he's responsible for won't be eliminated because of that one person. I'm already asleep at this moment. The instructor plans to come back tomorrow. Early in the morning, a black shadow appears. Kicking open my door, Yup Meng laughs wildly. Your master has arrived. A deep whine burp follows. Won't you greet your master? I awkwardly greet my master. He asks if I memorized yesterday's internal cultivation technique. Good thing I had Nano transferred ahead of time. Yup Meng was just being unreasonable to provoke me. He didn't expect I'd memorize it right after being seriously injured. I don't understand why he came so early in the morning. Yup Meng explains he only has 14 days to teach me. Once I return to the dormitory, it'll be hard for him to keep meeting me in the academy. At this time, security is lax and won't attract attention. After all, within the academy, learning martial arts from anyone other than instructors is forbidden. I thought he was unreasonable, but now it seems he's quite considerate of me. No time to waste. Let's start now. Quickly turn around and sit on the floor. Yup Meng also sits down. He places his hand on my back. He's actually going to directly infuse the cultivation technique's energy circulation method into my body. I've never heard of this method. That's a brilliant method created by your master's master. Remember to clench your teeth? If screaming attracts the guard warriors, this is over. Profound internal power flows into my body. Nano detects invisible energy entering the body through the user's gate of life acupoint. Beginning to query built-in data for analysis. Energy repeatedly circulating through specific acupoints is presumed to be Chi Y. I know Master is using powerful internal energy to forcibly open my blocked acupoints, but it's too painful. Master marvels, have I really practiced nothing? Then why can all 14 meridians circulate internal energy unobstructed? For practicing techniques, the muscles and meridians are also sufficient. Did the cult leader really intervene? Among the 7 ladies, the one he truly loves most is Lady Kwa. This person was born to her. Perhaps he secretly put in effort. With this qualification, 7 days is enough to generate internal power in the Dantian. At the same time, at the academy student quarters, all groups are competing for the leader position. The poison demon sect's young master was actually defeated by someone from the mere upper-tier heaven-seeking sect. There's no status distinction here. A world where the strong prey on the weak. Since I won, I, Baek Ji, will be Group 12's leader. Master finally completes infusing the energy circulation method. This is the most suitable method for me, who knows nothing about internal power. The goal is to generate internal power in your Dantian within 7 days. Seeing Master's exhausted appearance, it seems he also consumed a lot of internal power. I sincerely thank Master for his effort. This disciple will definitely succeed. You can even say things like that. How rare. Continuously reflect and contemplate the limitless heaven technique's breathing method and energy circulation route. I'm leaving now. Take good care of your body. He's the 3rd person in this world to make me feel warmth. I will definitely cultivate internal power within 7 days. The next day, all students gather at the grand training ground. As Li Huamyong expected, the young masters of the 6 major sects became leaders of their respective groups. All instructors weren't at the quarters on the first day. They tacitly allowed them to freely compete for leadership. Suddenly, he notices an anomaly. Group 12's leader is actually the unknown student number 18. He dared to touch the black nameplate holders who might become successors. Seems like someone with both strength and courage. The head instructor announces that starting today, for 7 consecutive days in the auditorium, mornings will be for learning tactics and combat theory. Afternoons will be for formation training at this grand training ground. Now form 5 lines and move to the auditorium. Poison Demon Sect's young master Cheon Jonggyom is still furious about last night's defeat. A voice mocks him as a fool. Besides poison attacks, does the Poison Demon Sect have nothing impressive? You just go do menial work for the lower tier sects. Cheon Jonggyom, accustomed to being domineering, has never suffered such humiliation. That lowlife from heaven-seeking sect is called Baek Ji, right? You can enjoy playing leader all by yourself. I'll make you regret being in the same group as me. At night, Group 8 instructor Lim Pyong praises Cheon Woo-gyum for his excellent command during formation training. By the way, student number 7 needs to be hospitalized for 14 days, so this instructor needs to go give student number 7 today's lesson again. Cheon Woo-gyum kicks open the group dormitory. He doesn't believe that person needs to be hospitalized for 14 days. It's absolutely fake. He's definitely putting on an act. Just thinking about that damn bastard with lowly blood lying there comfortably makes him grit his teeth in anger. A lackey beside him quietly suggests a plan. It suits Cheon Woo-gyum perfectly. 4 days pass in a flash. The infirmary finally welcomes a new patient. A student from Group 8 was injured during real sword training with severe bleeding. This treatment ends quickly. Although the meridians weren't injured, the wound is deep. Only 3 days of hospitalization are needed. Damn it, why do my group members keep having problems? Seems an accident report is unavoidable. At night, the injured student quietly gets up. He picks up Dr. Bake's scalpel. First, I'll make sure you can't walk. I'm forced to do this. Don, blame me. However, the next second, violent electric current surges through the man's body. He quickly loses consciousness, just as I expected. When the man opens his eyes again, he's already tied up. A hand pulls aside the curtain. It's me, Baldy. He heard I suffered very serious internal injuries, but why do I look unharmed now? I hold up a mirror to show him his bald head. Only then does he realize he can't feel his hair moving at all anymore. He rolls and struggles on the bed in agony. I punch him in the face. I stuff his mouth. Your mouth is stuffed. What are you still mumbling about? How do you think I've survived to this age? I encounter assassins full of killing intent like you from time to time. Since you plan to joke around with this, you should know how painful getting stabbed is, right? Hurry up and tell me who ordered you to do this. I pull the cloth from his mouth, but he says he doesn't know what I'm talking about. He knows I can't possibly kill him in the infirmary. In the academy, except during training or formal duels, you absolutely cannot harm others. What can you do to me? Then let's see if you'll talk. I stuff the cloth back in his mouth. I pick up Dr. Bake's surgical tools. My previous quarters didn't have this many nice things. Looks like you're terrified. I pry open his fingers one by one. This will hurt a bit. Try to bear it. The long needle pierces completely between his fingernails. 10 fingers connected to the heart is no joke. Don't try to act calm now. Just one hand done. This guy has already passed out twice. How about we try the right hand now? He shakes his head frantically. Ready to talk now? So why didn't you say so earlier? He knows if he keeps holding out, he'll become a cripple, even if he doesn't die. I ask him directly if Cheon Mugyam sent him. You must be curious how I know. Thanks to the excellent care of group leader Cheon Mugyam. Every morning the martial arts instructor comes to give me lessons. He told me in great detail which group I'm in and who the members are. You're student number 23, Hyobong, right? Hyobong doesn't know who's been spreading rumors that I'm trash. This kid is a monster. He just hasn't shown his fangs because he lacks power right now. Hyobong swears fearfully that he won't tell anyone about what just happened. Please don't be angry anymore. I channel internal energy to my fingertips. I seal his acupoints. He doesn't understand who said I have absolutely no internal energy. This guy has fooled everyone. At dawn, Yup Meng goes to find his beloved disciple again. Didn't expect the day would come so soon to give that kid that thing. After completing cultivation at dawn yesterday, this kid actually succeeded in generating internal energy in his dantian. This has only been 5 short days. Normally it takes at least 2 to 3 weeks. Without talent, it might not even succeed in a month. This guy has greatly exceeded Yup Meng's expectations. Looks like the plan needs to change. He takes out the demon dragon orb that, when properly absorbed, can increase internal energy by 20 years. The pill still stinks to high heaven. With Master's maximum help to reduce medicinal loss, I can gain the full 20 years of internal energy. This way, I might finally be able to stand on my own. Then Master notices another guy passed out nearby. I explain that this person deliberately got himself injured to come assassinate me. To dare do such a thing in Demon Path Academy's infirmary, he should know he'll have to leave the academy once this is exposed. Someone must have ordered him to do this, promising to back him up. I indicate it's the demon subjugation sect guy in my group. That family is almost entirely full of brutal characters who cause trouble. Your life hasn't had a single peaceful day, kid. It's fine. I'm used to it. Master suddenly seals Hyobong's acupoints again forcefully. He explains that sealing acupoints with less than a year of internal energy will automatically release in a few hours. To properly seal acupoints, you need at least 10 years of internal energy or more. Understand? Next, he urges me to quickly swallow the demon dragon orb. Can this thing really be swallowed directly? Remember to chew it completely before swallowing to absorb the medicinal effects more effectively. This stinking pill looks like it's going to be very bitter. As expected, it's an extremely bitter, choking taste. So bitter my tongue goes numb. So disgusting I want to spit it out. Quickly swallow it. Sit cross-legged and assume the energy circulation posture of the limitless heaven technique. Now Master will help you properly absorb the demon dragon orb. I'm counting on you, Master. Nano detects a substance flowing into the body that helps activate energy. Do you agree to promote metabolism and absorb the substance? Although I don't understand, it should mean it will help absorb the spiritual medicine. I agree. Nano begins promoting metabolism within the body. This completely shocks Yup Meng. Does this kid possess an innate martial body? At most, only about 80% of the medicinal effect can be absorbed. Yet I seem to have absorbed it all. My internal energy is surging. This is truly a disciple I cannot take lightly. After who knows how long, the sun rises. I finally complete the absorption. Master asks how it feels to have increased internal energy. This time was quite taxing for him too. You obtained half a cycle of internal energy with this kid. If other students can absorb half of the demon dragon orb by themselves, that's considered successful. I know what this means. Thank you, Master. Please accept this disciple's bow. Yup Meng laughs and says it's fate. My fate is you, Nano. Thank you. Nano coldly replies that helping its master is a task programmed into it. At this hour, Master should leave. I call out to him, asking if I can learn his unique martial art, the butterfly dance blade technique. Tomorrow, of course. You have barely enough time to learn during the rest of your hospital stay, kid. Prepare to train hard. At dawn, all students gather at the grand training ground. Chan Mujiam can't help but laugh. Thanks to your plan, Jia Yon. That lowborn wretch should have his meridian severed by now, wriggling like a worm. I'm itching all over wanting to tear the face off that guy crawling on the ground. Dr. Bake at the infirmary is already bursting with laughter. How did you lose all your hair overnight? Ha ha ha. Because of that guy next to him, he can't get angry. Dr. Bake wipes his tears while pulling the curtain for him. Then he notices me maintaining silence. He knows something definitely happened last night. However, the chief physician of Demon Path Academy only needs to focus on treating illness and cannot question anything else. 2 days later, Hyobong returns to Group 8's quarters. Cheon Mugyum finds it strange. Shouldn't you have been kicked out? Hyobong Hyobong explains that my internal injuries were too severe. The doctor was treating me at all hours of the night. The doctor doesn't sleep at night? You're not making excuses right now, are you? Following your orders, I moved at dawn. But the doctor was awake too. Cheon Mujium flies into a rage. How sharp could a doctor's ears possibly be? You damn fool! Can't you even do this properly? Jahyun asks the young master to wait. He asks Hyobong if he knows the doctor's name. I heard it's Baekjong Myung. Jahyun remembers this name. He should be the disciple of medical demon Baekjong Woo, the one who came from Poison Demon sect but aspired to medicine, and became the cult leader's chief physician. Though a doctor, his martial arts cultivation ranks within the top 30 in Demon Path Academy. Since he's that person's disciple, his martial arts must be exceptional. Damn it, sending this kid was a waste of effort then. You damn fool. Don't expect me to support your sect. It was Cheon Mujium who initially sought out Hyobong to do this. He promised that no matter what, even if he got kicked out, he would unconditionally support that weak sect. If Cheon Mujium had kept his promise, he had planned to tell everything truthfully. Keep throwing your tantrum. When that guy arrives, let's see if you can still be so arrogant. Cheon Mujium rips off Hyobong's headband, looking at himself in the reflection. Another brutal beating follows. Though others find him unpleasant, they're helpless because of his Cheon family bloodline. Tired from beating him, Cheon Mujium leaves Hyobong lying on the ground like a beaten dog. He sobs while cursing both Cheon Mujium and me to die. At this moment, I ask Dr. Baek if he knows martial arts or anything, but he doesn't at all. He only studied medicine. In the blink of an eye, it's Mao hour 7 days later. I practice the butterfly shadow footwork with proper form. Master is even more convinced I'm a 1 in 10,000 genius. He only showed me the butterfly shadow footwork a few times and slightly corrected my posture. Didn't expect I could actually achieve proper posture and natural movements. Thanks to Nano scanning Master's posture for me, I can reproduce it perfectly. But if I did that from the start, it would make him suspicious. So I need to slow down a bit. The butterfly dance blade technique has 24 forms. 3 forms make up one move. Building the foundation took a lot of time, so he didn't get to teach me how to connect them. 7 days is really too short, alright? You've practiced. Well, here are the moves of the butterfly dance blade technique and the method of applying internal energy. Though Master wants to teach you personally, today is the last day. With your intelligence and comprehension, you should be able to grasp the basics. I'll check next time we meet. Don't slack off. Practice well. Thank you, Master. This disciple will not disappoint your expectations. This is Master's wild dance blade. Take a look at it. An ordinary blade weighs about 2 to 3 jin. Our sect's treasured wild dance blade weighs less than 1.5 jin. Is it because of the butterfly dance blade technique? Truly exceptionally clever. Master slashes at the bed leg with one strike. It really is sharp. Though the blade is light, it was forged over a full season. It's called a treasured blade precisely because it's so sharp and resilient. Haven't you always been curious? Let me show you. Watch carefully. This is Master's butterfly dance blade technique. I call out to Nano, get ready to scan. Finished, Yop Meng leaves leisurely. The Grand Guardian tells Li Huamyong it was hard work pretending not to know about this during this time. Considering whose orders they were, how would I dare not obey? The infirmary should restore its original guard warriors now. But right now, Li Huamyong still doesn't understand. What's the reason for taking such care of the 7th young master? Because that's what's fair. Is it because both palms and backs of hands are flesh? The Grand Guardian reminds him not to question the master. Truly worthy of being the wind god, he vanished in an instant, without a trace. That said, after only 14 days, will it really become fair? Dr. Baek looks at me, a bit puzzled. Usually at this hour I'm already up. Why am I still sleeping today? That's right. After all, this is the last time to relax and rest. Sleep as much as possible. Nano has converted muscle fiber quality to 80% and meridian conversion to 75% from when Yop Meng used the butterfly dance blade technique. Estimated time to completion is half an hour. Half an hour later, Dr. Baek is startled awake by me. He hurries to check what happened. At this moment, I'm trembling all over, vomiting uncontrollably. He quickly checks my pulse. What's going on? How could someone sleeping quietly have a pulse like this? The pulse is beating madly, as if overdrawing the body. Nano begins stabilizing the body, the adverse reaction within the body during conversion and transfer. Dr. Baek is baffled. How did the condition suddenly stabilize again? Master never mentioned this situation. Just let him sleep. Better to eat lunch first. After who knows how long, I wake up. My grip strength is completely different from 3 hours ago. I think I know now how arduously Master trained himself. If he knew I obtained this level of physical condition in just 3 hours, he'd probably pass out. Master can create such powerful wind pressure with moves alone, even without using internal energy. Nano has also completed the scan. Thank you, Master, for teaching me everything. Returning to Demon Path Academy will be hard from now on. Don't lose. Looks like there's at least one person in this academy who worries about me. At this moment, Nano has completed analysis of the scan movements. Completing the conversion is estimated to take 3 hours. This is also the reason for everything that just happened. It feels completely different. Just practiced one move of the butterfly dance blade technique, exactly like Master's. Next is the second move. Then I keenly sense something unusual. Someone is walking toward here in the corridor. Could it be that with the body's conversion, my senses have also become more acute? Great. Preparations are complete now. The person in the corridor walks in. So the movement I sensed was Dr. Baek. I put on my name badge. Dr. Baek laments that there were no patients to begin with, and now even I'm leaving. What will he do with his boredom? Don't worry, there will be many soon. I've troubled you during this time. If the doctor hadn't turned a blind eye to me learning martial arts from the right guardian, it would have been very inconvenient the whole time in the infirmary. I won't forget all the care you've given me. The patients the doctor wants, I'll definitely send them to you. My body recovered, I resumed training. The martial arts instructor gives me my equipment and tells me to rejoin. Chi Mujium watches me with disdain, mocking me for being so scared I trembled, so I'm only coming now. You filthy. He doesn't finish the sentence because I completely ignore him. Don't get excited too early, Chi Mujium. I'll have a proper match with you soon. Real sword combat training begins now. If another accident happens, the instructor will use full force to expel people from Demon Path Valley. Though Chi Mujium is arrogant and brutal in character, he indeed has the bearing of a successor candidate. To prevent me from making mistakes, the instructor places me in the position requiring the least movement. enrollment. But I'm different from what he imagined. I can actually keep up well. The instructor orders to maintain formation and posture. A quarter hour later, some people are already starting to struggle. The instructor finds it strange that the guys who trained before are like this. Why am I, who laid in the infirmary for so long, still perfectly fine? He orders a formation change. Shon Mugium commands with all his effort, forming a semicircle as if surrounding an enemy. Advance half a step, take big steps. I can completely keep up with the command rhythm. Shion Mugium is annoyed. Why don't I make mistakes? He can't tolerate me with my tainted bloodline doing well. He quietly calls his lackey Ja Hyun, orders him to do as instructed during the third formation. A quarter hour later, formation changes again. Construct shields. Thanks to Nano inputting simulation videos for me, I handle it easily. Shield formation constructed. Real swords to be inserted between shields. Ja Hyun quietly sizes me up from behind. The buttocks are clearly visible. Tainted bloodline should be crawling on the ground, but I twist lightly, dodging his foot. I glare back at him. He didn't expect me to actually notice. Things have come to this. Can only kick with full force. I defend with internal energy, bouncing him away forcefully. I turn back and smile. He instantly flies into a rage. The instructor is also angry. You again. The one who stabbed student number 23 last time was also you, right? This guy has really gone crazy. Your 3 days of free time are canceled. Until bedtime, you'll undergo hell-style supplementary training from this instructor. Try to argue and get out. Others have long been displeased with him doing all kinds of bad things relying on Cheon Mugium. Hearing these mocking voices, Cheon Mugium's hatred toward me deepens. Li Huamiang watches all this calmly. My internal energy is deeper than he imagined. Though taught by someone at the right guardian's level, it's still strange. It can't be that Yop Meng, that guy who loves to get drunk, taught well. Could this guy possess the talent to fully absorb the demon dragon orb's medicinal effects? Even with only half the bloodline, a tiger father has no dog son. Those two successor candidates in the same group are at a standstill. Things are gonna get more and more interesting. Afternoon training ends. The instructor announces mealtime. I ate plain porridge for 14 straight days, finally eating tasty food again. But speaking of which, is that kid planning to glare at me the entire meal? Though I don't know why he hates only me, I won't forgive the 6 major sects either. You don't know the feeling of watching your mother die before your eyes while being powerless. From now on, I'll trample you all underfoot. After dinner, today's schedule ends. Except for Ja Hyun, the rest of the group is dismissed. Group 8's quarters, that's room number 8 on the first floor. Then a voice calls out to me. Without my permission, Cheon Mugium, where do you think you're going? This guy really doesn't deviate from my expectations. Carrying lackeys around, wanting to be the master wherever you go. Everyone's attention is drawn to Cheon Mugium. Demon sound sect successor candidate Cheon 1 Ryo is no exception. Cheon Mugium sees many people gathered. Time to begin. He steps forward, insulting me as a guy with tainted bloodline. Did you have a good time hiding in the infirmary like a coward? What, are you angry, tainted bloodline? I counter by asking if he's insulting the cult leader. He's momentarily stunned, not understanding what I mean. You say I have tainted bloodline. Isn't that insulting the cult leader? To insult our cult's cult leader whose position is high as heaven. Is your position higher than heaven? These words cause onlookers to discuss among themselves. He originally wanted to despise and crush me in front of everyone. Didn't expect to be outmaneuvered by me instead. Cheon 1 Ryo mocks. Demon subjugation sect guys are truly stupid. The sword demon sect successor candidate shares the same view. To actually get angry with such a lowborn wretch. Cheon Mugium can't hold back anymore. I'll tear that arrogant mouth off your face. I slam a punch hard into his face. Cheon Mugium is caught off guard and falls to his knees. I imitate his coughing and ask what he wants to say. You lowborn wretch, how dare you? Cheon Mugium shoots out violently, striking with demon subjugation empty fist, but I dodge by moving aside. I stabilize and land to the side, then immediately fly outward. How does that lowborn wretch know lightness skill? Cheon Mugium orders his lackeys to quickly catch that guy, to dare attack me first and then run away. If I let you go like this, I'm not human. I use my lightness skill speed, neither fast nor slow, maintaining just enough distance not to be caught while fleeing. Cheon Mugium catches up, angrily scolding his lackeys for dawdling. Get out of my way, slowpokes. I'll catch you, stomp your face and crush you to pieces. I run for a while, maintaining the same speed as Cheon Mugium, stopping at about the right time. Damn guy. Not running anymore? Run? How ridiculous. There's no need for that yet. Cheon Mugium is caught off guard taking this strike. Using 70% of his power to defend, he's still pushed back. Only then does he understand my power is considerable. But how does this kid know this kind of martial art? During the first stage exam, he had no internal energy at all. What's going on now? Good. Just as I expected. Panicked and frightened. Then let's press the advantage. Butterfly dance blade technique, second move, return origin butterfly alert. Contrary to my expectations, he actually dodged it. Cheon Mugium begins gathering power. A heavy punch lands on me. Demon subjugation empty fist, second move striking force. Another elbow strikes toward me. This makes me understand my internal energy is still slightly inferior compared to his. Seems that kid had higher internal energy than ordinary students before entering the academy. And now he's also taken the demon dragon orb. His internal energy should have greatly increased. Can't give him a chance to counterattack. Must attack continuously. I use butterfly shadow footwork to flash to his side. Others can only see some after images. But this strike misses. Cheon Mugium quickly counterattacks with his knee. He sees that although my moves flow like water, I completely don't know how to respond to an opponent's attacks. Though not qualified to use the technique properly, it indeed intimidated him. Indeed, it's obvious it was rushed. Cheon Mugium mocks me for being all show and no substance. I only learned 2 blade moves, and my combat experience is insufficient. He noticed it all. I underestimated Cheon Mugium too much. Didn't expect the difference in combat experience to be so vast. Cheon Mugium plans to first trample and torment me, then slowly interrogate how I trained in martial arts. Nano senses external threats. To respond to threats, modes. Activating eye-opening on user's visual information, augmented reality. Activating action instruction defense mode through combat guidance. The next second, I actually dodge. A charging strike. A heavy fist slams down on Chien Mujium. Even I'm stunned. What I just used isn't blade technique at all. What is this exactly? Nano casually provided guidance using boxing, one of the self-defense martial arts built into the program, meaning analyzing the opponent's actions and producing results within 0.01 seconds. Though I don't quite understand, can it use butterfly dance blade technique instead of boxing? Analysis and transfer complete. Guidance available. Do you agree? I agree. Filthy wretch who learned boxing won't have that much luck now. Nano receives action instruction, replacing defense mode from boxing to butterfly dance blade technique. I can see clearly where and how he'll attack. I easily dodge Chien Mujium's fist. Now it's my turn to counterattack. Using palm as blade, I strike hard at Chien Mujium's body. He recalls painful memories from the past. Mujium, as long as you work hard enough, your father will put his attention back on me and stop caring about that filthy wench. You must win at everything. Understand? Mother, it's all because you're useless. If only that filthy wench hadn't appeared. It's not my fault. It's all because you didn't perform well. All because you're worthless. Of all times to recall these damn memories. Am I going to lose? Am I really going to lose like this? You think I'll lose to a low-born wretch like you? I grab his head, slamming it hard into the ground. He's powerless to resist anymore. This is all your own doing. If the second stage exam weren't conducted in small groups, I would have already smashed his head. I don't want to waste words with Chien Mujium. I leave directly. That was dangerous. Without Nano, I would have lost. Though I learned martial arts quickly, experience is not something to underestimate. To reach a high level still requires internal energy and experience. First, I need to clearly know how to use what I have. I call out to Nano, asking how much of its functions I've used so far. Nano answers based on built-in records. Never exceeded 30%, meaning there are many more functions worth using. Nano asks whether to transfer the detailed function manual for Generation 7 nanobots to the brain. To aid smooth understanding, will additionally transfer English from the built-in language education program. Bring it on. I accept it all. The massive amount of information causes a sharp pain in my brain. Good. Let's start searching for functions. Can you do all these things, Nano? Like the simulation function that allows repeated sparring with others in augmented reality. With this, I can make up for lack of experience. Nano explains that simulation requires analyzing motion data related to the opponent's actions. Though analysis data on Chien Mujium just now is insufficient, a virtual character can be created based on combat records. Good. Let's try it now. Nano activates eye-opening on user's visual information, augmented reality, adjusting simulation data before activating virtual character. Please adjust the impact percentage the virtual character delivers to the user. Set it to 100% then. The next moment, the virtual character uses Chien Mujium's arrogant tone. Come at me, you low-born wretch. Why did it simulate his disgusting manner too? Since it's a virtual character, I'll definitely smash his head. Virtual Chien Mujium launches an attack. Demon Subjugation Empty Fist, 5th move. Demon Subjugation Force Training. It actually perfectly reproduced the move from earlier. I dodge this strike. Handblade strikes down with full force, but it's still dodged. Chien Mujium mocks. You think attacking so recklessly will work? I'm sent flying by his punch. Nano uses internal nanobots to reproduce the same impact intensity based on the pain data I just experienced. Do you wish to readjust impact intensity? I'm somewhat annoyed. Answer, forget it. Just continue like this. Low-born wretch. Come at me. Damn guy. Always so annoying. You're just a virtual character. After who knows how long, I lie on the ground exhausted. Nano tells me it's high hour now. Fought 15 times. Only won the last one. The first duel I lost in just 5 seconds. If the virtual character is at this level fighting the real Chien Mujium, I'd probably lose badly. Nano's data shows my frequency of flexibly using motion variations and butterfly dance blade technique during repeated sparring is increasing. But what's the use? That kid used only 3 moves back and forth, yet I only beat him once. Just wait and see. Within 7 days, I'll easily defeat Chien Mujium's virtual character. I return to the quarters. Others deliberately avoid me. Just defeated one successor candidate, and they automatically make way for me. Hyobong suddenly approaches enthusiastically to greet me, ingratiatingly tells me where the bed is. Others don't understand why he's acting like that. I also notice his attitude has changed from before. Could he want to get something from me? Hyobong understands he's been abandoned by Chien Mujium. There's no way out anymore. Either way, it's death. Might as well fight desperately. I, student number 23, Hyobong, wish to serve young master Chien Gyung-un and pledge my service. Others unanimously think Hyobong has gone crazy to actually pledge loyalty to the powerless 7th young master. I'm momentarily puzzled too. Hyobong deeply regrets previous incidents. Please allow me to become your subordinate and serve you loyally. Become a subordinate to me who has never easily trusted others since childhood. Unlike guard Jang appointed by the cult leader, someone actually volunteers to be my subordinate. Time to start building my own forces. I nod in acknowledgement. Hyobong is instantly overjoyed, swears to be loyal to me unto death. At this moment, a sharp voice rings out. Jahyun angrily rebukes. Worthless worm, who are you pledging loyalty to? Hyobong trembles with fear, but he knows he absolutely cannot back down. I ask him what he thinks he is, daring to call someone else's subordinate a worm. You, the one running after others' butts, are the worm. Jahyun roars angrily. Low-born wretch. The incoming fist is easily dodged by me. I strike back with a chop, knocking him to the ground. Compared to the virtual character, he's nothing. Hyobong is convinced his choice was right. I gesture, asking Chien Mujium if he wants to try again. Enjoy it to your heart's content. Even with a worm-like subordinate, nothing changes. Others can't believe it. The brutal Chien Mujium actually lost in this confrontation, but the demon subjugation sex power still remains, right? Maybe he can really restore the heavenly demon divine cult to its former glory. 7 days later, the day of the second stage exam. As previously stated, adjacent 4 groups draw lots to determine opponents. First, groups 1 to 4 come to the front. Strangely, groups 2 to 4 have all changed leaders. Only group 1 still has Dark Demon Sex Qian Muyum. Li Huamiang shows a meaningful smile. The drawing ends quickly. Group 1 versus Group 3. Group 2 versus Group 4. Next, Groups 5 to 8 come to the front. Bizarrely, 2 leaders in these 4 groups have also changed. A situation beyond Li Huamiang's expectations has emerged. Group 8's leader has actually changed to me. Qian 1 Rio sees me and knows something's wrong. She clearly already warned Qian Mugium like that. The day before, after training ended, Qian Mugium watches those still conducting group training, thinking to himself how foolish those people are. Haven't they considered at all that their strategies will be completely exposed? Nothing to see? Better go practice martial arts. Qian 1 Rio calls out to him. Qian Mugium glances at her irritably. Ignoring her, he turns to leave. But Qian 1 Rio blocks him. He's annoyed. What are you doing? I thought for a long time before calling you out. Must you be like this? Qian Mugium still remembers her saying demon subjugation sector all fools. Doesn't want to talk to her. Really infuriating. In that case, let's make it brief. Qian 1 Rio reveals her injured right arm. Last night while training alone, she was ambushed by someone. Qian Mugium is surprised. Which audacious fool did this? But that person wore a mask. She couldn't tell. It's because you were careless about that kind of guy that you got attacked. Qian 1 Rio warns him not to treat these words as a joke. She was absolutely not careless. Since she's been targeted, it's highly likely Qian Mugium is also targeted, because they were arranged in the same group team in the finals, drawing lots to decide opponents. It could clearly be done all at once, yet it's deliberately divided into 4 groups. Then, each group can guess in advance who their opponent is. So the information was deliberately made public before the competition to induce some people to target opposing group leaders, right? Exactly. Without a leader, formations become hard to maintain. Anyway, the exam is tomorrow. Absolutely cannot be careless. Don't do dangerous things like training alone. Qian 1 Rio doesn't want to hear that a successor candidate didn't even pass the second stage exam. That would be too shameful. Qian Mujium didn't expect the weakest among them would give him advice, truly overestimating herself. But those words can't be dismissed. Should I bring Jia Hyun along to practice? That night at high hour, I swore confidently that within 7 days I'd easily beat virtual Qian Mujium. But Nano indicates the current win rate is only above 60%. However, over these 7 days, my strength has greatly improved. Nano estimates the goal can be achieved in a few more days. Time to head back to the dormitory. But halfway, I hear fighting sounds. Who's over there? Too dark to see clearly. Looks like another person is down on the ground. I call out to Nano to activate night vision mode. One of them is Qian Mugium. Looks like he's being attacked by that masked person. The masked person's sword is incredibly swift. Qian Mugium is completely at a disadvantage. To actually suppress him to this extent, the masked guy's skills are truly extraordinary. Though I don't want to help Qian Mugium, but can't be without a group leader before the group exam. The masked person reacts quickly, dodging my sneak attack. I immediately continue with punches. Still dodged. Seems to be a master of unpredictable strength. The masked person sees the situation is bad, quickly leaves the scene. Qian Mugium didn't expect he'd fall to the point of needing my help. I bring the two back to the quarters, telling others to quickly treat the injured. Hyobong is somewhat worried. I'm not injured, am I? Nano scans the injured area, finding a 4 cm long, 2 mm deep sword wound on the head. After stopping the bleeding and disinfecting, then suturing the wound, there shouldn't be major problems. Then someone cries out in alarm. I was focused on Jahyun, didn't even notice. This guy didn't make a sound, looks seriously injured. I tell Hyobong to quickly fetch the duty instructor. Although emergency treatment is administered immediately, this guy probably won't be able to walk for a while. The exam is tomorrow. If the group leader can't walk, we're done for. The instructor knocks out Qian Mugium and prepares to carry him to the infirmary. I remind the instructor there's another injured person here, but I'm ignored. Hyobong wants to carry the guy, but I tell him not to. I'll do it myself. I catch up to the instructor carrying Jahyun on my back and explain the situation. The instructor knows that either way, someone will bring the guy. I understand. He deliberately left the injured person there to make someone follow. When I ask why, the instructor says there's no particular reason, but only your group seems to have already given up. That's all I wanted to say. Hand that guy over to me. You know students can't leave their quarters at night, right? If you lose your main player, you need to put in a substitute. I keenly catch the key word in the instructor's statement. Did this only happen to our group? The second stage exam clearly has a hidden meaning. Targeting the most important person, the group leader, must be to easily defeat the opposing group in tomorrow's exam. I understand now. The reason for drawing lots for battle groups in advance was to create a situation where only schemes and tricks could be used. This is the heavenly demon divine cult. There's no need to stick to rules. Let's act like true demon path practitioners. Back at the quarters, I asked the other group members how long they plan to stay dejected, just because the leader was attacked. But only Qian Mugium has received command training and battlefield leadership experience. Who else can replace the leader? At this moment, Hyobong raises his head. He asks them why they think there isn't anyone. Isn't my lord, young master Qian Youn, right here? The scene falls silent for a moment. Everyone looks at each other. The neutral faction students are the first to express their agreement. After all, my presence is no weaker than Qian Mugium's. Qian Mugium's followers have no other choice but to agree as well. Does everyone agree to me being the leader? Good. During formation training, I thought of a tactic. That night at yin hour, a figure rises in Group 8's quarters. He quietly leaves the dormitory. I call on Nano to activate night vision mode. Time to continue the operation. I return to Group 7's quarters, having been here countless times throughout the night. Nano scans the interior of Room 7. This time, they're all finally in deep sleep. I ask Nano if the one who attacked Qian Mugium is among them. After comparing physical information, Nano finds no match. That doesn't matter. I quickly knock these people out. This guy must be Group 7's leader. He seems to have woken up startled. I quickly knock him out. Quite alert. A decent leader. I take out the long needles I prepared. After inserting needles into Group 7 leader's meridians and acupoints for several rounds, he should have difficulty walking for a while. Though it wasn't you who did it, don't hold a grudge. Now, on to the next room. Group 5's leader, Qian 1 Rio, has weaker martial arts than Qian Mugium, so she's not the masked person. That means the one who attacked Qian Mugium is in Group 6, right? Nano detects all 16 people are in deep sleep. Wait, why 16 people? Even adding the 3 female students living separately on the second floor, we're still one person short. Nano scan reveals there's no one here matching the masked person's information, so it's most likely the one who isn't here. If they were on the first floor, I should have been discovered when I was walking back and forth earlier. Wait, what am I worrying about? I don't necessarily have to target only the leader. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. The next day, I draw lots to determine opponents. Li Huamyong knows that me becoming the leader means someone injured that youngster from the demon subjugation sect. He completely understood the hidden meaning of the exam. As expected, this selection won't disappoint. For the exam, everyone made their preparations honorably. I hope you can compete well. The word honorably is unspeakably ironic. As I step down, I vaguely sense someone's gaze. Is it that person? That guy's eyes seem familiar. I have Nano scan him. Nano begins scanning physical information. Height and skeletal structure match the masked person 100%. Finally found you. Soon the duels begin. First round, Group 1 versus Group 3. As Li Huamayong announces the start, Group 3 charges first. Group 1's leader, Cheonmu Eom, orders them to form Formation 3. This somewhat surprises Li Huamayong. Using the diagonal formation here, shields begin clashing. This duel is almost without suspense. It's a complete one-sided crushing. Cheonmu Eom looks down at Group 3's leader from above and orders him to surrender. He can only obediently admit defeat. The opponent wasn't particularly weak, yet it ended so easily. Li Huamayong announces all Group 1 students pass the second stage exam. Second round, Group 4 versus Group 2. Group 4 wins. Next round, Group 8 versus Group 5. I turn back to find everyone's morale is low. This won't do. I ask them if they're nervous. I know everyone's uneasy because we changed leaders. I'm nervous too, but if we don't win here, we'll have to leave the Demon Path Academy. That's too early. We must reach a higher level. A despicable person injured our leader to make us fail. We absolutely can't let their scheme succeed. If everyone's united with me, we won't lose here. We must win. So you know how to boost morale? Whether you're a tiger's cub or just a stray cat, we'll soon find out. Li Huamayong announces the start. Cheon 1 Rio intended to crush Group 8 led by Cheon Mu Guillaume. People like you don't deserve the successor battle. For your pathetic life, leaving the Demon Path Academy now is the best choice. She orders an attack. I call on Nano for eye-opening. Augmented reality. Through formation guidance, activating action instruction mode. I order everyone to hold position for now. Cheon 1 Rio orders formation 2. The opponent changes to arrow formation. Nano suggests forming fish scale formation. As expected. Here we can only collide head-on. I order formation 6. All group members move behind me. How is it fish scale formation? Li Huamayong thinks to himself that I made a foolish choice right from the start. If the leader at the formation's head has no martial prowess, fish scale formation is meaningless. Disappointed for nothing. Cheon 1 Rio roars angrily, "You dare think you can fight me?" Her shield crashes hard against mine. Intense wind pressure erupts. What's happening? This guy actually blocked my strike carrying 10/10 of my power. Though my internal energy level is slightly inferior to Cheon 1 Rio's, adding master level external martial arts, I have the advantage. This is thrilling. The arrow formation's rear isn't solid. If she doesn't change formation now, it will definitely collapse. Cheon 1 Rio is forced to retreat. She commands her group to form Formation 1. I likewise command my group to change to Formation 3. Cheon 1 Rio doesn't believe the method Group 1's leader already used will work on her. Though your internal energy is decent, your tactics are a mess, Cheon Yo-un. He orders another formation change to 6. Using fish scale formation can cut through diagonal formation from the middle in one strike. Once you're isolated and helpless, I'll finish you. But at this moment, I grin. Group members quickly disperse. Cheon 1 Rio is shocked. I suddenly switch to crane wing formation without warning. She quickly orders them not to panic and guard against attacks from both sides. I immediately command the group to switch to formation 2. Using arrow formation here, in that case, watch the front, but they're surrounded on all sides. She doesn't understand what that lowly person is doing. The formation is quickly set. It's actually square formation. Only now does Cheon 1 Rio realize the called numbers were a feint. This is exactly the battle plan I laid out last night. That lowly person dares to toy with me, Cheon 1 Rio. I command the group to suppress them. These people clearly show fear. They drop their shields one after another. Cheon 1 Rio angrily rebukes them for what they're doing. It's not completely hopeless, but they remain silent. If this continues, I'll be mocked. Everyone will mock me. Cheon Yo-un, you bastard, die! I drop my shield. The sword in my hand begins gathering power. It clashes violently with Cheon 1 Rio's sword. Second strike, third strike, fourth strike, fifth strike. In the end, I win. Cheon 1 Rio can't believe it. My arm! Where's my arm? Her screams echo throughout the arena. The instructor rushes over to stop her bleeding. I'm thinking, is it because this isn't a blade? Though I destroyed Cheon 1 Rio's sword sheath with 5 moves, I couldn't complete the final move. Training swords do have limitations after all. Li Huamayong announces all Group 8 students pass the second stage exam. Group members excitedly surround me. Li Huamayong recognizes I used butterfly dance 7 strikes. Just looking at the technique itself, it's on par with Yop Meng's level. What on earth did that drunken fool do? In just 21 days, he achieved overwhelming growth in all aspects. Excellent strategy and tactics plus the decisiveness to cut off Cheon 1 Rio's arm. That's truly a genius talent. Unfortunately, I'm the academy master and can't take him as a disciple. But Cheon Yo-un, you can't just be happy there, because this time, you've essentially revealed your abilities to everyone. Next is Group 6 versus Group 7. Group 6's leader was injured under my attack that night after all. Sharp pains pulse from his side. There's a bastard who took advantage of him leaving the quarters to cripple all his team members' legs like this. It's this damned person, Cheon Yo-un. He's certain that my appearance of having no martial arts during this time was all an act. Group 7's people, seeing everyone in Group 6 limping, think they've already won. They plan to boldly thrust through with Formation 6 to achieve victory. Group 6 members also think with their legs like this, they're bound to lose. The leader says grimly that these guys will thank him for the rest of their lives. He orders arrow formation, positioning himself alone at the very front. Group 7's leader mocks them, saying what use is changing formations when they're all limping. Group 6's leader stares at him coldly with an icy gaze. The two quickly begin fighting. Group 6's leader easily sends Group 7 leader's shield flying. Then the sound of tearing flesh echoes throughout the arena. He roars, commanding his group members to advance. Using Group 7's leader as a human shield, he carves out a bloody path. Group 7 is completely suppressed under these circumstances. Under their leader's command, Group 6 presses their advantage, giving them no chance to recover. Li Hua Mayung has no idea who that Group 6 leader is. His eyes indifferent, he glances at the opponent before him. You're next. Damn Qian Yo-un. I also realize I seem to have provoked quite a troublesome enemy. The second stage exam soon ends. This time, those from the upper sex should feel quite aggrieved. Because this was a group exam, some capable people were dragged down by weak group members. If positions aren't reconfirmed based on the failed candidate's performance, the upper sex will continuously protest to the academy master. Anyway, those people will grow using their own family's martial arts, but if people from small and medium sex miss the Demon Path Academy's resources, they're basically done for. Speaking of those who passed the second stage exam, they should all be at the secret manual library now, right? I look at the secret manual library before me, feeling it's even more magnificent than the academy's main building. While I was in the infirmary, other students already visited the first floor. Are they going to the second floor today? Master told me not to do useless things until the second stage exam, and to focus entirely on mastering butterfly dance blade technique and limitless heaven technique to increase the chances of passing the exam. And the useless things Master mentioned referred to the secret manual library. Because of Master, I'm already learning martial arts that appear on the 4th and 5th floors of the library. He proudly stated that no martial arts on the first floor compare to our sex techniques, but I have Nano, so I should scan both floors as thoroughly as possible. This is the first time in my life I've seen so many books. There's only 1 hour on the first floor. I need to hurry. I have Nano continuously scan the books I flip through. I can flip through a book in just tens of seconds. After scanning 50 books, half an hour remains. I tell Nano to store them first, not to transfer them to my brain immediately. I seem to have only looked at the outer bookshelves. Let me check the inner ones too. A massive stone monument stands in the library center. The warrior guarding the first floor appears to be a highly skilled expert, but I don't understand why there's a stone monument in the library's center. The guardian warrior glances at the badge on my chest, symbolizing my status as a successor candidate. He suddenly explains that this is a monument left by our cult's founding patriarch, the heavenly demon ancestor. Only then do I notice the writing on the monument. It seems to be poetry. These marks greatly shock me. I ask if this was possibly carved with fingers. The guardian warrior confirms, people without strong internal energy can barely leave marks on blue jade stone even with a sword, yet the ancestor infused internal energy into his hands to write these. Ordinary people are busy just looking at one book. He doesn't know if it's because of bloodline connection that I discovered the ancestor's great traces. I say I wasn't looking either and almost overlooked it. Though it's poetry left by an ancestor, with so many manuals around, the blue jade stone doesn't catch anyone's eye. He's guarded here for over 20 years and hasn't seen a single person observe this monument before leaving. Seeing that I've been delayed quite a bit, he tells me to go finish what I need to do. Just then, as I turn around, I notice something unusual. The other side of the monument has sharp marks, as if to cover something up. I have Nano analyze these marks. Nano quickly completes the analysis. The results show these marks were created by carving the monument's surface with a sharp sword tip. I wonder who did such a shocking thing to the ancestor's monument. Analyzing the groove depth, Nano concludes the marks were left by 2 people. It's completely invisible to the naked eye alone. I have Nano show me the scanned sword marks using 3-dimensional augmented reality. From the holographic projection, the force of each sword mark and the angle of cuts and thrusts are vastly different. The original sword marks are scratched into chaos. Could it be to cover the original marks? I have Nano keep only the first carved marks and erase all the other sword marks. The original sword marks are quickly distinguished. My pupils suddenly constrict. This really isn't just simple sword marks, but sword techniques composed of countless moves. I can't tell what technique this is at all. I really lack comprehension. I ask Nano if it can analyze these sword marks and display the sword technique through holographic images. Nano states that to measure the force that left the sword marks, it needs to know the blue jade stone's hardness. At this moment, the guardian warrior asks, puzzled why I haven't gone to look at books yet. The back of this monument is chaotic. Legend says that in the past, there was swordsmanship containing the heavenly demon ancestor's insights here. No one knows who damaged the back like this. Perhaps to monopolize the ancestor's insights. Hearing his words, I wonder if these marks are really just simple damage. The guardian warrior says he needs to patrol, and tells me to look around casually and then leave. The opportunity finally comes. Nano tells me to place my entire palm against the monument to analyze the blue jade stone's hardness. A stinging sensation comes from my palm. Using diamond hardness as standard, Nano determines the blue jade stone's hardness is 7, and based on the hardness, it analyzes and combines the sword marks. It displays vivid movements through holographic images. The figure and I face each other. Just as I'm about to ask who he is, Nano indicates two-way dialogue function is not supported. Now displaying the sword marks. I marvel at what incredibly powerful force this is. The golden figure recreates the past sword marks at an incredible speed. My voice trembling, I ask Nano if this is one move. Nano analyzes that all the movements are connected. Based on the martial arts master has learned, it is indeed one move. How is this possible? The butterfly dance blade technique manual consists of 8 forms. Even master took half a year to master it. It's extremely complex. This is an unparalleled ultimate technique. It can't be defeated. Originally, I didn't have high expectations for the first floor library. I didn't expect such an opportunity. I urgently tell Nano to play again from after that technique. Though I don't know who was so malicious, thanks to that person, I obtained this sword technique. I should thank them. After analyzing the chaotic sword marks erased in the holographic image, Nano discovers 45 sword techniques composed of connected movements. My departing steps immediately halt. It wasn't deliberately to cover up, but they're all sword techniques. I urgently have Nano display the 45 sword techniques in sequence through holographic images. This is the first move, second move, third move, 20th move, 30th move. I'm shocked to discover these techniques are gradually approaching perfection. After Nano ends the holographic images. I'm already dripping with sweat just from watching on the side. I ask Nano if it can have the initially stored sword technique and the 45 techniques just now compete through holographic images. A moment later, 3 figures face each other. The next moment, Nano activates the holographic images in duel mode. 2 incredibly powerful figures begin dueling. I concentrate intently on observing every move they execute. In the end, the later green figure wins. The first move, which just seemed flawless, is broken through by a subtle difference in one form. This isn't simply to erase traces of the previous technique. The 45 sword marks are a long research process to break through the ultimate technique. I respectfully asked the Guardian Warrior if only the first floor has blue jade stone. He heard that every floor has it. Good. I can't wait to go to the second floor. All students are still on the second floor. Because the second floor's viewing time is half an hour longer than the first floor's. I noticed that Ryu-chan from the 6 major sects Sword Demon sect is actually here. Other successor candidates trust their own sect's martial arts too much and don't come here. I think to myself, I need to be especially careful of this person. I tiptoe toward the center of the second floor library. As expected, there's also a monument here. I have Nano analyze the sword marks here as it did on the first floor. Nano detects that the initially carved sword marks are a sword technique composed of 24 forms. Adding the sword marks others left afterward, there are 56 techniques total. It seems more research was done compared to the first floor to break through the initially carved technique. Though I want to confirm immediately, it's impossible under everyone's watchful eyes. I have Nano extract and store all the sword techniques. To think I obtained 4 ultimate techniques just like that. I really look forward to transferring them to my brain and body. Students concentrating on viewing manuals are all disturbed by strange sounds. I carelessly flip through each book and put it down. Even sitting still, they might not be able to memorize them. Only half an hour left. No time to care about that person. Focus quickly. I close another book. Nano indicates scanning complete. Ryu-chan of the Sword Demon sect watches this scene. He smiles inexplicably. So far, 156 books have been scanned. Next is the Experience Master greatly emphasized. Using Nano's augmented reality ability, if it's as I think, I can accumulate even more diverse combat experience. I heard after the second stage exam ends, personal training rooms will be fully opened. I can't wait to go transfer the ultimate martial techniques. At this moment, a figure quickly blocks my path. This guy is Group 6's leader, right? I ask him what he wants with me. He asks darkly if I'm playing dumb. You think I can't guess? The one who injured all my group members' legs is you. Seeing his murderous appearance, he seems to plan to fight me here. I ask provocatively, who told you to leave? He calmly replies, thanks to whom? Unlike a certain someone, he doesn't fall for provocation. This guy isn't weak. I need to deal with him properly. A voice greets in this direction, but this guy and I are confronting each other, completely ignoring it. The person sighs, really not taking me seriously. With a flash step, he arrives at the confrontation center. This guy is Ryu-chan of the Sword Demon sect. He praises cheerfully that leaders who pass the second stage exam are indeed different. He tells Group 6's leader that he's been waiting a long time and requests to let me go to him first. After speaking, he even cups his fists in salute. Group 6's leader didn't expect a successor candidate to bow to another student, but he's also been looking for me all day. He tells Ryu-chan to get lost. Ryu-chan ponders what to do then, since he specifically waited so long because he wanted to see me. Group 6's leader feels he's being looked down upon. His attack instantly falls. Ryu-chan quickly counterattacks. He completes a reversal in just an instant. How about that? He broke through a technique he saw for the first time using only the simplest movement. Is that guy's strength really that formidable? Group 6's leader didn't expect to be subdued by someone who hadn't even set his stance properly. Ryu-chan, seeing him losing balance, somewhat suspects he's injured around the ribs. Group 6's leader knows this guy is definitely beyond student level. Ryu-chan pats his shoulder, telling him to just wait a moment. He says nothing and turns to leave. What does this guy want with me? Is he planning to strike first? In any case, I can't deal with him relying on my own abilities alone. I have Nano activate augmented reality eye-opening, combat guidance mode set to butterfly dance blade technique. Ryu-chan asks me amiably why I'm so guarded. Though from your position, it's natural. But don't be too paranoid either. For the first meeting between half-brothers, I'm pleased to meet you, brother. The word brother is too unfamiliar to me. I'm annoyed. Is this guy toying with me now? Ryu-chan realizes he's being somewhat annoying. After all, the 6 major sects have made things difficult for you in every way. It's natural you'd have this attitude. I question him. Knowing this, do you still expect me to give you a pleasant face? But he says he just wanted our first meeting to be amicable, because he's taken a liking to me, because we're both blade wielders. When he saw me cut off that demon sound sect kid's arm, he was shocked beyond words. I've become your #1 supporter, brother. I roar angrily, telling him to stop with the nonsense and state his real purpose. The atmosphere between the two plummets to freezing. He sighs. It seems getting along will take time. No more nonsense then, brother. Come to our Sword Demon sect. I'm instantly stunned. I ask if he's serious. He waited outside the secret manual library until now to tell me this. How could it be a joke? Though he doesn't know what others think, he doesn't see me as an enemy. He hopes I'll enter the Sword Demon sect and stay by his side. I question him. Are you telling me to give up the successor battle? He didn't expect me to understand it that way. But anyway, it's impossible for you. If you also make it through, you'll definitely clash with me head on. You have no chance of winning. But if we work together toward one direction, your path forward will be smooth sailing. Doesn't that sound great? You call this not seeing me as an enemy? I refuse him without hesitation. He glances at me sideways and asks why. Let me give you a suggestion instead. Your side can't accommodate me either. Just don't block my path, and I'll spare your life. The atmosphere between the two completely freezes. Nano detects the enemy is rapidly gathering powerful energy in his right arm. Please dodge half a step left to avoid the attack. Then use the second move of butterfly dance blade technique. Return origin butterfly alert. Is it starting? I quickly react. Ryu-chan is startled, then bursts out laughing. Nano detects the powerful powerful force gathered in his right arm is gradually weakening. Though he got angry for a moment, thinking about it, it's quite good. What a wasted effort. If you had walked the same path as me, we'd definitely clash head-on, wouldn't we? Nano detects the enemy is gathering powerful energy in his right arm. In an instant, a piercing roar erupts. I look at Cheon Ryu-chan, unable to believe it. That was actually Blade Aura. He says disdainfully that at that level, trying to take his life is far from enough. Being able to release Blade Aura barehanded means he's reached the realm of peak mastery. The rumor that he's competing with the dark demon sex Cheon Mueom for the successor position turns out not to be baseless. See you next time, brother. After defeating Cheon Mueom and sending Cheon Won Ryo out of the Demon Path Academy, I thought I was on par with them. Don't be impatient, Cheon Yo-un. The goal isn't to catch up to them, but to tower above them. Cheon Ryu-chan reflects on the scene just now. He understands I foresaw his attack, though he wanted to cut off my right arm in one strike. Before he even released the Blade Aura, I had already moved out of the trajectory. He thinks to himself that I'm indeed different from ordinary nobodies. I arrive at the Demon Path Academy's personal training room, a square about 7 feet across. This width is completely insufficient for practicing footwork and techniques. However, the stone walls are quite thick. This way, training won't be disturbed by others. I have Nano activate augmented reality. Eye-opening. Display the technique from the second floor library monument through holographic images. This is faster and more complex than the technique carved on the first floor monument. Even if I use the final secret of butterfly dance blade technique, I can't block a single move. Next are the sword mark techniques left by later practitioners. 56 techniques are perfectly displayed before my eyes. This is incredibly difficult. Without practicing swordsmanship, this kind of technique can't be completed. The initially awkward and unnatural techniques become astonishingly perfect by the 56th move. I have Nano have the different techniques from the second floor spar with each other. The later carved sword technique ultimately wins. Like the technique on the first floor, the initially carved ultimate technique is broken by a single move's difference. I instantly have a brilliant idea. If I use butterfly dance blade technique to fight the ultimate technique, didn't the later carved sword techniques also fail to block a single move of the ultimate technique at first? I close my eyes. Then let's compete. There must be a way to counter it using butterfly dance blade technique. Two versions of me begin gathering power. At the same time, instantly striking. Nano detects the user's brain neural cells are rapidly being activated. The resulting energy circulation stimulates the body's acupoints. The user's Dantian energy is activated and continuously increasing. Powerful internal energy swirls around me. My eyes suddenly open wide. I'm confused about what just happened. I was clearly immersed in the holographic image duel. Did I unknowingly fall into mental imagery? My body feels strange. A possibility instantly comes to mind. My internal energy actually increased by a full 10 years. Could it be I achieved enlightenment? I achieved enlightenment without Nano's help. Indeed, those techniques are worthy of being called supreme martial arts. For some reason, I feel I can use butterfly dance blade technique better now. It's different from the feeling of cutting through air before. Enlightenment doesn't just greatly increase internal energy. Have I achieved manifestation of energy now? Though my internal energy isn't enough yet and hasn't formed a complete blade shape. But if I absorb the demon dragon orb obtained this time, I'll also possess one cycle of internal energy. In that case, the gap with Cheon Ryu-chan will greatly decrease. Nano tells me I've been in a trance state for 1 hour. It's almost time to return to quarters. I probably can't transfer to the body. I have Nano transfer the techniques first carved on the first and second floors, as well as the 45th and 56th techniques carved afterward, to my brain. I ask Nano how long transferring to the body takes. According to analysis, transforming muscle fiber tissue and meridians requires 5 hours. No choice but to come out early tomorrow. I return to quarters and find someone still hasn't come back from the personal training room. Hyobong respectfully greets me. After memorizing manual books, he also previews and diligently trains in the personal training room. I ask him if he obtained anything good. He answers it's just second-rate martial arts, but since he's not good at empty-handed combat, he transcribed a leg technique manual. At times like this, everyone's striving forward. Though they say we have 3 days to rest, if we want to move forward, we can't waste any time. The next day at Shen hour, I finally complete the transformation of muscle fiber tissue and meridians. Nano releases the anesthesia state. An intense nausea suddenly surges. I urgently have Nano start reducing the internal backlash from the body transformation. I feel like I've just come back to life now. The power in my hands is completely different. Compared to when I learned butterfly dance blade technique, it's a world of difference. I feel incredibly powerful. I take off my clothes. My muscles are also very developed. It doesn't quite feel like my body. I stare at the wall before me. My hand begins gathering power. Next door, Group 6's leader is cultivating internal energy. He understands he was too arrogant and complacent after injuring Cheon Mueom. Since he felt the world of difference with that person today, if he wants to restore his honor, he must train even harder. First, I need to completely forget about unimportant things like Cheon Yo-un. I need to set a bigger goal. Suddenly, the wall beside him collapses. The instructors outside the training room are all startled. The powerful impact hits the unprepared Group 6 leader. He can't believe it. Is it an assassin? What bastard dares to do this? Who is that guy? Cheon Yo-un. That damn guy. The instructor severely reprimands my actions. You should be grateful student number 108 is still alive, or you'd be expelled from the Demon Path Academy. This will affect your evaluation. You better keep that in mind. From now on, you can only use the underground training room. If you break that too, you'll never be allowed to use any training room again. I sincerely promise to be more careful. The instructor stares at my back thoughtfully. He actually punched through a wall made of forged world stone. Has that guy's internal energy already reached peak mastery? I ask Nano in confusion why my strength has become so powerful. Nano explains that in order to leave marks on the blue jade stone through physical attacks, it transformed my muscle fibers and meridians to their bodily limits. Unlike transferring the dagger technique and butterfly dance blade technique, which use the ability to perfectly execute movements as the standard. Instead, it used the ability to leave marks on the blue jade stone as the standard. To avoid affecting my height growth, Nano made subtle adjustments to the strength level. When my body fully matures, the transformation limit will be higher than now. Time is the only answer. But with Nano's capabilities, There's no way to increase master's height other than stimulating growth. I arrive at the underground personal training room. From the data transferred to my brain, these are techniques refined over decades. They might even be the insights of the heavenly demon ancestor himself. I'm quite nervous performing these supreme techniques for the first time. First, the supreme sword technique, but the move I execute is completely different from what I imagined. Then let me try again. Unwilling to give up, I execute the first supreme sword move again. But why is the technique so disappointing? I call these supreme sword techniques the sword of destruction. I execute all 45 forms completely. I can feel that the first and second moves of the sword of destruction are perfect, but there's this feeling of not being able to fully execute them. They're nothing like the terrifying techniques I saw in the holographic images. I have Nano display the supreme sword techniques extracted from the blue jade stone and my own movements in holographic images for comparison. Both images execute the moves simultaneously. I keenly notice what's wrong. My execution is just simply connecting the movements together. I'm even a beat late at the finish. But I don't understand where exactly the problem lies. Could it be because there are only the techniques? Even performing the techniques themselves without the energy circulation route, right? It's the energy circulation route. Just like the final secret of the butterfly dance blade technique, if I don't circulate internal energy through the energy route, I can't execute it properly. It's like missing the core. I'm speechless. What's the point of leaving only the sword techniques without the energy circulation route? Suddenly, I remember the poem on the front of the blue jade stone. I urgently ask Nano if it can display the front of the first floor stone monument in a holographic image. Nano extracts the monument through the images stored from the user's visual information. It reads, "The great wind rises, clouds soar high. Power spreads across the land, returning to homeland. Where can I find brave warriors to guard the four corners?" I ponder what clues might be hidden here. Nano explains that the displayed poem is a founding poem from a certain dynasty, so it's not a poem written by the heavenly demon ancestor himself. I have Nano analyze the monument's surface to see if it can find any clues. Nano discovers there are small holes beneath each character, but the number of holes beneath each character varies. What does this mean? I speculate. Could they represent acupoints? 4 holes would mean 4 acupoints. That can't be right. Come to think of it, the first book Nano scanned was about acupoints. The 4th acupoint is the dovetail acupoint. But normally, energy circulation routes should start from the sea of energy acupoint at the dantian, which should have 7 holes. Suddenly, inspiration strikes. The character great has 3 strokes. Adding 4 dots makes 7. Indeed, each character plus the holes beneath corresponds to an acupoint. The 23rd is the right lateral gate. Then everything matches up. I actually found the hidden energy circulation route. I shout excitedly that I'm indeed a genius. I've finished dinner. I need to hurry and practice the supreme techniques with the energy circulation route. At that moment, someone calls out from behind me. He introduces himself as student number 200 Yun Pa. He requests to spar with me once. This is our first meeting. There's no reason for me to do this, and I don't want to waste time. I turn and leave without hesitation. But this guy sticks to me like a persistent leech, constantly nagging. Finally, he says if I win, he'll give me information about the 3rd stage exam and a gift. Only then do I follow Yun Pa to an open area. I don't understand. What reason could there be for such foolish behavior, sparring with me at the cost of sharing information? He says it's probably to confirm qualifications. I don't understand what that means. He wants to show me the blade technique his sect takes pride in. I wave my hand, gesturing for him to come. Yun Pa swiftly launches an attack at me. I dodge it by slightly tilting my head. His attacks keep coming. I easily dodge them all. They're simply too slow. I casually strike back with a hand blade. Yun Pa has no resistance. He spits blood wildly and is sent flying. I tremble all over in fear. I didn't control my strength. I didn't kill him, did I? Yun Pa never expected such a pathetic defeat. After watching me spar with Cheon-1 Ryo, he thought he could exchange at least dozens of moves with me. He's certain I was hiding my true strength before. He praises me as truly worthy of being the cult leader's son. Then, as agreed, he'll provide me with information. Before that, I ask him why he requested this spar. Win or lose, there's no benefit for him. Yun Pa sighs that I really don't trust others. Just as he said, it's to confirm qualifications. He says the 3rd stage exam will very likely also involve group assignments. But as far as I know, the Academy Master personally said there would be no more group exams. Yun Pa explains that this exam focuses more on individual strength. The 3rd stage is designed to select upper warriors. Only first-rate masters with first-rate martial arts and half a cycle of internal energy can qualify. Currently, among students who pass the 2nd stage exam, only 20% have strength above first-rate masters. With the Demon Dragon Orb, most students will possess half a cycle of internal energy. That leaves one final problem: first-rate martial arts manuals. The 2nd floor of the library only has second-rate martial arts. I understand. This exam will provide first-rate martial arts manuals that need to be memorized, but that would make the exam too simple. So if what Yun Pa's father told him is correct, the first-rate martial art for the exam should be the 7 demon swords that our cult's upper warriors can use to perform the sword demon formation. I heard from Jang the guard before. The 7 demon swords formation is not only first-rate martial arts, but also contains wonders. It can form the sword demon formation with 12, 36, or 108 people respectively. The more people in the sword formation, the stronger the ability to defeat enemies above their level. Yun Pa's father practiced the 7 demon swords in a group of 12 back then. Even the basic sword demon formation is difficult to comprehend for anyone who isn't a first-rate master. So Yun Pa wanted to understand my strength through sparring. He says he wants to join me in this exam. He heard that the 3rd stage exam is entirely student-initiated. However, group leaders will be designated based on the 2nd stage exam evaluations and grades. They'll have the right to choose team members. More than ordinary students, the 3rd stage exam is likely designed for the 6 major sects and the young masters. I understand. The 3rd stage exam is part of the successor battle. If you can't build your own faction and master the 7 demon swords and formation within the time limit, you'll be automatically eliminated. Yun Pa asks if I remember he said he'd give me a gift. That gift is himself. I think to myself, this is one gift I really don't need. In his view, I'll definitely become a group leader, and his stable strength is better than those rash students. His strength is indeed second only to group leaders, and what he says isn't wrong, but I always feel something's off. Looks like I need to use that method. I ask him, aren't there other successor candidates? Why choose me? He scratches his head awkwardly and says he made the same offer to the young masters of the Dark Demon Sect and Sword Demon Sect, but he was rejected. Yes, they're already full. Besides, we're both Blade users. Hearing this, I've already made my decision. Yunpa earnestly asks if I can accept him. I gaze at him with a smile. He's immediately overjoyed. He kneels down halfway through speaking when he hears me say reject. He doubts he heard correctly and asks what I said. My face turns cold. I repeat, I reject you. Just now, I had Nano perform facial analysis on Yunpa. When answering why he didn't choose others, the probability of lying was 45%. When saying he hoped I could accept him, the lying probability rose to 62%. The probabilities only made me suspicious, but what confirmed it was the last statement. When he said we're both Blade users, it was extremely similar to Cheon Ryu-chan, claiming to pursue the Blade path while excluding the Blade Demon Sect. That guy is ridiculous. At this moment, Yunpa is reporting the situation to Cheon Ryu-chan. Learning that I rejected Yunpa, he laughs heartily. So that guy took the information and ran? What an interesting character. Originally, Yunpa's plan was to become that guy's team member, then be absent on exam day, causing him to be eliminated due to insufficient members. Cheon Ryu-chan feels it's somewhat regrettable to eliminate that guy this way. If not for competing for the successor position, he would definitely try to win him over again. Yunpa requests that the young master give him another chance. He still has other plans. Cheon Ryu-chan says there's no need for that. He tells Yunpa to find a group he can join, or perhaps you'll even become a group leader yourself. Yunpa is shocked and alarmed. Cheon Ryu-chan tells him not to be upset. He still needs to drive out several others. I don't need incompetent subordinates, so get lost. However, Cheon Ryu-chan doesn't understand why this kid was subdued in one move. Watching that guy's strength a few days ago, he wasn't nearly this strong. Although this is truly incomprehensible, whether it's luck or strength, we'll see soon enough. At this time, Nano has finished analyzing the hundreds of second and third-rate manuals scanned in the secret manual library. I learned that Nano can designate virtual characters and set martial art techniques. I try setting the 5 martial sword technique, initially scanned, onto Cheon Mugium's image. This guy is as annoying as expected, shouting, "Lowly bastard, come at me!" I've heard this line so many times my ears are calloused. I calmly wait for Cheon Mugium to launch his attack. He's really quite weak. I swiftly strike back with a hand blade. Nano indicates the virtual character died from a fractured cervical spine. This is completely beyond my expectation. With the body transformation and enlightenment greatly increasing my internal energy, the virtual Cheon Mugium is no match for me now. But this wasn't my plan. Even setting second-rate martial arts for the virtual character won't make much difference. In that case, generate 10 virtual Cheon Mugiums. Set them all with different second-rate martial arts. 10 feels like too many. I'm about to have Nano reduce the number. At that moment, all the Cheon Mugiums repeat that line, constantly shouting. I tell Nano no need to adjust. These guys are all dead. 10 Cheon Mugiums simultaneously launch attacks at me. I easily block the first attack. Then I leap up to dodge the other attacks. But my head suffers a violent impact. I fall pathetically back to the ground. Nano temporarily stops augmented reality. The augmented reality made me forget this space is quite cramped. At this moment, I notice where I just hit. It's covered with countless cracks. I call for an instructor to check. I can't help feeling anxious inside. The instructor holds his forehead and painfully asks what I did to the ceiling. He warned me before, so I'm forbidden from using this training room anymore. The instructor tells me to follow him. I follow the instructor out of the personal training room. We arrive at a building only half the size of the personal training room building. The instructor tells me to train here from now on. This training room is originally only opened after reaching peak level and passing the 4th stage exam, although I haven't passed the exam yet. But to shatter the forged worldstone walls of the personal training room requires at least peak level internal energy. So to prevent me from causing more trouble, the instructor opened this place slightly early with the Academy Master's approval. The instructor says this place is built with isolation stone. No matter how much I fool around, I absolutely cannot break it. Train here with peace of mind. This large training room should allow for augmented reality eye-opening. Nano asks if I should continue sparring with the 10 virtual Cheon Mugiums. I ask if it can designate Master Yopmang as a virtual character for sparring. Nano says it can create one based on the movement standards Yopmang displayed with the butterfly dance blade technique. That would definitely help me more than Cheon Mugium. Even the tension from 10 Cheon Mugiums can't compare. Yopmang boldly asks me, "This brat, is my disciple defying his master?" I tell Nano to remember to mute Master next time too. Master is among the top 10 experts in the cult. With martial arts alone, I could never be his match. Then I'll strike first, aiming for his weakness. Master casually swings his blade twice and blocks all my attacks. Then he strikes my jaw with a palm. This is completely overwhelming power. I'm sent flying without any resistance. Is this the strength of one of the 5 top 10 absolute masters of the Heavenly Demon Divine Cult? Nano asks if I should change the virtual character and martial arts settings. I want to restart the battle. Let me try then. Using my newly learned supreme techniques, Master charges at me with wild laughter. I focus intently, capturing every detail. With the supreme sword techniques, I barely have the qualifications to exchange moves. I completely unleash my potential. Between the gaps in moves, I can barely touch Master. This is the final strike. Just as my fingertips are about to pierce Master's forehead, I'm still ultimately sent flying. My body slams heavily against the wall. I'm truly unwilling to accept this. Even with the supreme sword techniques, I'm no match for Master's virtual character. Then I notice something. Master's virtual character also has some sword wounds. So the final move did touch his forehead, but they're all shallow. Just looking at the sword techniques, they're superior to Master's virtual character. But the absolute gap in martial arts level prevents me from defeating him. Until the 6th exam at the Demon Path Academy ends, it's 4 years total. I vow to surpass Master within 4 years. 3 days later, all students who pass the exam gather at the Grand Training Ground. Yesterday, I spent the entire day and only managed to draw with the 10 virtual Cheon Mugiums. Li Hua Mayong first explains the 3rd stage exam content to everyone, then distributes the Demon Dragon Orbs. The 3rd stage exam involves forming a sword formation with 12 people. I didn't expect everything Yunpa said was true. Li Hua Mayong explains that the basic condition for 12 people to form a sword formation is possessing first first-rate level martial power. This is the foundation martial art of our cult's proud sword demon formation, the manual for the 7 demon swords. After you guys take today's demon dragon orb and continuously practice the 7 demon swords, you'll definitely develop first-rate level martial power. Up to this point, what he's saying isn't difficult, but the 3rd stage exam will be held 28 days from today. Each group forming a sword formation needs to defeat the martial arts instructors before them. You should know the instructors are all peak level experts. Some even have martial power at the pinnacle of peak level. Everything is as Yan Pa said. So next is selecting group leaders. Li Hua Mayang continues explaining that this exam is entirely student initiated. You need to do your utmost to recruit team members and practice the sword formation. After explaining the method for selecting group leaders, he'll distribute the 7 demon swords manual and demon dragon orbs to everyone, then dismiss. I'm startled. Won't group leaders be designated by grades? The method is to challenge these 17 instructors within 7 days. Whoever seizes the yellow badges from them becomes a group leader. The entire ground erupts in uproar. With 207 people total forming 17 groups, at least 3 people must be eliminated. Li Hua Mayang tells everyone not to think it's too difficult. The instructors with yellow badges won't use their own special techniques against you, but rather the 7 demon swords. I understand that cracking the 7 demon swords in the shortest time means fully comprehending the sword techniques. 7 days to practice and crack the 7 demon swords is too tight. Li Hua Mayang sees everyone is confused now and wants to scare them further. He asks if any students want to challenge immediately. The entire ground immediately falls silent. Li Hua Mayang is somewhat disappointed. In this situation, showing courage and strength would attract attention. Of course, if you lose, it would have the opposite effect. Just as he's about to announce dismissal, a hand reaches out. Group 1 leader, Dark Demon Sect successor candidate Cheon Muiom. Group 8, Cheon Yo Un. And that guy is number 18 Baek Ji, who defeated Poison Demon Sect successor candidate Cheon Jong Gyom in Group 12 to become group leader. 2 unexpected people are challenging. This is quite exciting. Just standing near Baek Ji and watching him, I can feel a sense of determination. Li Hua Mayang sees 3 people dare to challenge and feels somewhat expectant. He asks which martial arts instructors want to accept the challenge. The 3 instructors from the challengers' previous groups all step forward together. Li Hua Mayang feels somewhat helpless. He already told them not to develop unnecessary feelings for the students. At this moment, the chief martial arts instructor also steps forward. Seeing this, instructor Lim Pyong, who was in charge of my previous group 8, consciously steps back. From now on, I can only rely on myself to overcome this. No matter who I face, they won't show mercy. The instructors probably want to face challengers other than the students they were responsible for, to avoid the group leader title being taken immediately. Let's start with student number 1, who was previously group 1 leader. Yo Sun, the former group 12 supervisor, quickly chooses to accept the battle. The chief instructor didn't expect the guy he was interested in to be picked by someone else. Yo Sun understands that if the chief instructor stepped in, he wouldn't hold back. He also believes Cheon Moyeom is the suitable candidate for the next successor, so he doesn't want him to be embarrassed here. To retaliate, the chief instructor chooses student number 18, whom Yo Sun was responsible for. The group 1 supervisor originally wanted to choose me as his opponent, so this works out well for him. A space is cleared in the middle of the grand training ground for the duels. After the 2 cup their fists and salute, they officially begin. I tell Nano not to miss a single moment and scan everything. Cheon Moyeom uses the soft mystic cloud palm, ranked among the top 3 martial arts of our cult. Due to the rules, the instructor can only compete using the 7 demon swords. I keenly notice the instructor's sword techniques are very familiar. Just looking at the power carried by his palm technique, Cheon Moyeom has reached a consummate level. His comprehension of techniques has already surpassed student level. Just looking at martial power, he's already at Grand Guardian level. The instructor understands he can't treat him as a student anymore. Cheon Moyeom didn't expect the instructor to block his superior special technique with mere first-rate martial arts. I discovered the sword techniques composing the instructor's moves are identical to the sword of destruction techniques left on the blue jade stone. The difference is the 7 demon swords only has 12 sword forms, while the sword of destruction has 24. Then the person who left those countless sword marks might be the sword demon. Cheon Muyeom and the instructor both have peak level internal energy, but he's slightly inferior. The instructor blocks his palm technique with superior combat experience. He understands if he can't decide the outcome here, the situation will become even more unfavorable. Then there's no other way. Seeing him change posture, I understand he wants to use a special technique to decide the outcome here. Then I'll use my full power to receive it. Cheon Muyeom charges out first. Internal energy gathers in his right palm. The instructor's right palm technique makes a corresponding defense, but Cheon Muyeom doesn't strike with his right palm. Instead, he switches to his left palm technique. He successfully hits the instructor's weakness, disrupting his rhythm. This is the same technique as before, but suddenly coming from the opposite direction is truly unexpected. The instructor decisively counterattacks. He successfully pins Cheon Muyeom's left hand, but Cheon Muyeom's right hand has also gathered internal energy. He instantly strikes the instructor. He successfully defeats him. The entire ground erupts in uproar. No one expected Cheon Muyeom would actually defeat the instructor. Right sword, left palm, left sword, right palm. Simultaneously executing 2 special techniques. He actually mastered that martial art of our cult's second-ranked absolute master. Even Li Hua Mayang can't help but silently praise him as a genius. The instructor tears off the yellow badge from his chest. He announces that Cheon Muyeom has qualified to be a group leader in the 3rd stage. I think about how the phrase seize the badge is quite concerning. Does that mean one person can seize multiple badges? Let me put aside questions about the badges for now. My performance now will determine future developments. I must prove myself before everyone. The instructor sees I look quite presentable. Despite facing him as an instructor, I'm not nervous but full of fighting spirit. Everyone thought this kid wouldn't survive past the 1st stage and would be eliminated. However, your amazing feats end here. Brat, I'm going to thoroughly crush you in front of everyone. The instructor gestures for me to strike first. I just reached peak level. Compared to true peak level masters, my internal energy is still insufficient. Letting me attack first must mean he's looking down on me. I need to use full power to decide the outcome. Even though the instructor used 70% of his power to defend, he was still pushed back by me. He realizes that although this person's internal energy is inferior to his, the techniques are too strong. This is truly utterly humiliating. There's still some gap in internal energy after all. As expected, it won't be so easy to defeat him. The instructor counterattacks using the 4th and 6th forms of the 7 demon swords. Now, even without Nano's help, I can see his sword techniques are incomplete. Compared to the Sword of Destruction on the Blue Jade Stone, it's just amateur technique. I meet the instructor's attack head-on. The instructor thinks to himself that this fool is walking right into his trap. At this rate, the outcome will be decided in just 2 moves. The next instant, I actually repel the instructor's sword technique. The onlookers are stunned. Li Hua Myong can't believe I actually cracked the 7 demon swords techniques with just the basic blade forms of the butterfly dance blade technique. The instructor is thoroughly enraged. Things have come to this. Even if he suffers internal injury, he'll use full power to strike me down. Li Hua Myong didn't expect that Madman would go for the kill. I sense this is internal energy. Nano detects organ damage caused by energy penetrating the body. It will quickly perform self-repair on the damaged organs. Beginning self-repair. The instructor is bewildered. This guy clearly suffered internal injury. Why hasn't he fallen? I seize the opening from his moment of distraction and strike. The instructor still wants to rely on his protective energy shield to hold on, but my accumulated power has already reached my own limit. His protective energy shield alone cannot block it. The instructor spews blood wildly. The others are completely shocked. Only now does the instructor realize how terrifying this person is. You monster. The instructor falls unconscious. I also come back to my senses. Only now does Qian Ryu-chan believe Yonpa wasn't talking nonsense. This is getting dangerous. The ever-changing 7 demon swords were actually cracked. This is too excellent. He can be called a martial arts genius. Li Hua Myong starts to regret not keeping me instead of giving me to that drunkard. I really did it. The instructors have lost twice in a row and start worrying about being looked down upon by the students. The chief instructor thinks if someone has both ability and talent, they can also surpass instructors. Excellent rising stars have appeared, yet these guys aren't happy about it and are still worried about face. However, he understands he has no right to blame them. In a moment of foolishness, he failed to identify such talent when choosing an opponent. Another regret. Next is the chief instructor versus number 18 Baek Ji. The other instructors completely can't imagine that person losing. The students see Baek Ji dare to step forward. Perhaps like student number 7, he's also hiding his true strength. Both sides exchange courtesies. The duel officially begins. The chief instructor's aura is incredibly powerful. Just sensing it, Baek Ji's body goes numb. However, he won't leave with regrets. He uses a descending footwork technique against the chief instructor. It seems I'll have a new virtual character to spar with. The chief instructor lightly moves his upper body and dodges completely, but Baek Ji's back foot has no defense. The chief instructor swiftly targets Baek Ji's back foot. Seeing things going badly, he decisively uses the chief instructor's attack, successfully creating distance between them. Baek Ji's control over his body slightly surprises the chief instructor. He gathers internal energy again and strikes. He actually succeeds in landing it. The watching students are greatly shocked. However, the next second, blood splatters everywhere. Baek Ji's foot has already been pierced by sword energy. He falls back pathetically. He didn't expect the chief instructor could create sword energy in such a short time. Is this what pinnacle peak level is? The chief instructor sees Baek Ji use his footwork, but his right foot is crippled. He asks what he'll do now. Baek Ji endures the intense pain and stands up. His strong willpower is somewhat unexpected to the chief instructor. Baek Ji understands the strength gap is too great. He can only decide the outcome with one move. As he gathers power, blood bursts out, but he still charges at the chief instructor with full force, executing footwork even sharper than before. Injured yet still so bold, the chief instructor feels somewhat gratified. At this moment, Baek Ji changes his posture, avoiding the chief instructor's defense. He's surprised. This was a feint? Baek Ji uses an even stronger footwork technique. A faint humming sound appears between attacks. The chief instructor is excited. Has this kid also just reached peak level? Baek Ji's kick misses completely. He's been caught. This is cruel. The chief instructor looks at him mockingly, praising him as quite good. But what a pity. Baek Ji has no power to resist the chief instructor's attack. He's completely and utterly defeated. The other students realize that numbers 1 and 7 are monsters who defeated the instructors. If the chief instructor hadn't shown mercy by injecting sword energy, Baek Ji's chest would have been pierced through. I understand Baek Ji faced the wrong opponent. If the instructor he faced wasn't at pinnacle peak level, there might have been a glimmer of hope. The chief instructor gives Baek Ji some guidance. Baek Ji respectfully bows in thanks. He staggers back to the ranks. At this moment, I notice something abnormal. Baek Ji's face is abnormally pale, and his neck is turning red. I have Nano zoom in and scan him so I can confirm immediately after the 3rd stage exam announcement ends. Li Hua Myong distributes 1 wooden sword and 1 demon dragon orb per person for the 3rd stage exam. He emphasizes again that seizing a yellow badge within 7 days will make you a group leader. Then everyone is dismissed. I'm thinking about taking the demon dragon orb first. A group of people surrounds me. I don't understand what they want. Hyobong steps forward and asks them what business they have with his lord. The 4 members from Group 8 in the 2nd stage exam protect me from behind. I think to myself, Hyobong is quite good. Last night at Group 8's quarters, Hyobong was recruiting the other members, but they thought following Chan Yo-eun was too dangerous and asked Hyobong if he wasn't afraid of the 6 major sects. Hyobong is of course very afraid, but living as a minor sect, groveling like a lackey for a lifetime, he'll take a gamble. If we follow the Lord, perhaps small people like us will have hope. The 3 repeatedly confirm with Hyobong if he truly believes in Cheon Yo-eun. Hyobong's answer is absolutely firm. The 3 of them also decide to take this gamble with him. Ma Chil, Wang Cheon, and Ho Dae Myong vow unwavering loyalty to Lord Cheon Yo-eun. I tell Hyobong to step back. The other party politely introduces himself as student number 857, Go Wang Yi, and praises my bravery. He gets straight to the point, saying he wants to become my team member. I'm somewhat surprised for a moment. However, I only need 7 more members. 9 of them will have to turn back. Go Wang Yi states he's from the upper sect Demon Fist sect, already at first-rate level, and won't hold everyone back as a team member. The others also express that their strength isn't lacking either. 5 people gathered here are from upper sects. Do the remaining 11 have to compete for those 2 spots? Although so many people are requesting to become my team members, I have something to say first. I'm not looking for members just to pass the 3rd stage exam. What I'm looking for are those who, when I face difficulties difficulties and dangers in this cult in the future, can shed blood alongside me and overcome everything as comrades. As expected, fear means no one is willing to get involved in the successor battle. I explain that if you're on my team, whether upper sect or small to medium sect doesn't matter, because at the end of the path we walk together, current scale and reputation are meaningless. I will change the 6 main pillars of our cult. These people think I'm insane. This is no different from declaring war on the 6 major sects. Become my companion and stand by my side. Become the new backbone of the heavenly demon divine cult. That's the kind of team member I, Cheon Yo-woon, want. The risk is far too great. Almost everyone chooses to leave. Hyobong thinks he's done for. It would have been better to wait until after being recruited. Then he notices that 3 people haven't left. From the upper tier Fist Demon sect, student Go Wang Ui. From the mid-tier Golden Gate sect, Jo Min. From the mid-tier Hu Family Sword sect, Oh Jong. Go Wang Ui has met other successor candidates, but this is his first time seeing someone like me. The path I described is too dangerous. It might push everyone with me into a desperate situation. He originally wanted to give up too. I understand that as someone from an upper tier sect, he has the means to support successor candidates with better chances of winning. But as a martial artist, he naturally dreams of dominating the martial world. After hearing my ambition, he finds himself drawn in without realizing it. I, Go Wang Ui, swear my loyalty to young master Cheon Yo-woon. I wish to become his first sword. Little does he know that this decision will make him one of the 6 swords of the future demon god Cheon Yo-woon. The other 2 also kneel on one knee. They swear their loyalty to young master Cheon Yo-woon. Help in times of need is far more precious than icing on the cake. I cut my fists and thank them for their trust. Hyobong emphasizes to Go Wang Ui that he's the master's first subordinate. I order everyone to memorize the 7 demon swords manual after taking the demon dragon orb today. Starting tomorrow morning, train with me. I will personally teach you the techniques of the 7 demon swords. They're excited. They chose the right master after all. He's so attentive to them, while others are busy competing with each other. I think to myself, it's not that difficult. Just beat them until they succeed, like my master did. Now, each of you go to your personal training room to take the demon dragon orb. We'll meet again at high hour. Then Go Wang Ui calls out to me. He reminds me that it's better to move with my subordinates from now on. After all, you now possess a yellow badge. Now that I think about it, the academy master said those who obtain yellow badges within 7 days become group leaders. But he didn't say we must take them from instructors. Compared to the number 1 student from Dark Demon Sect, I'm weaker and might become a target. I thank Go Wang Ui for this good advice. He wants to use the personal training room next to mine. I tell him I no longer train there. Somehow, I've been using the elite training room, a place only for top level students. He'll quickly reach top level so he can train in the same room as his master. After absorbing the demon dragon orb, my internal energy exceeds 1 cycle. I'm completely at top level now. With blade and sword techniques added to this foundation, I should be formidable. Thanks to Nano regulating my drug tolerance and promoting absorption. Nano responds, yes, thanks to me. I wonder, doesn't the future have the concept of humility? Now then, show me the saved video of Baek Gi's duel. Stop the video here. Have Nano zoom in on Baek Gi here. His face is extremely pale. Blood vessels in his eyes have burst, plus red spots appearing all over his neck. He's poisoned. There's no doubt. At this moment, another student challenges an instructor to a duel. The instructor realizes the person before him is also at the superb top level, just like him. Not someone who can be dealt with using just the 7 demon swords. And in such a short time, he's mastered the 7 demon swords. He's also a genius no less than the previous 2. Blade Demon Sect successor candidate Cheon Ryu-chan. There's no need to compete anymore. The instructor tears off the yellow badge from his body. Cheon Ryu-chan now has one. So who will he challenge next? At this moment, Baek Gi is eating in the Demon Path Academy cafeteria. Someone sits down in front of him. He's Sword Demon Sect successor candidate Cheon Gyung-un. Baek Gi doesn't want to hear his nonsense. He says irritably, I'm eating. Don't disturb me. Though displeased, Cheon Gyung-un still hypocritically tries to recruit Baek Gi. You seem to have the ambition to become a group leader, to climb to a position higher than group leader. Baek Gi ignores him and wolfs down his food. Cheon Gyung-un almost can't resist beating him up, but that would ruin his plan to gather talent. He tells Baek Gi to consider this suggestion that has only benefits and no harm. This is already the second successor candidate to approach Baek Gi. The Blade Demon Sect candidate was not only frivolous but also wanted him to be his bait. But he has no interest in any position, nor does he want to become anyone's subordinate. His only goal is to become stronger. Then another voice politely asks, can we talk for a moment? Baek Gi doesn't even want to look and tells him to get lost. I say, if you don't talk to me now, you might die later. Baek Gi looks displeasedly at the person before him. This person isn't even a successor candidate from the 6 major sects, yet he's more arrogant than the previous 2. He asks coldly, do you think you can recruit team members that way? I say helplessly, you seem to have misunderstood something. Baek Gi is furious. I just threatened him, yet I say it's a misunderstanding. I don't want to waste time. I say bluntly, you seem to be poisoned. He doesn't understand what nonsense I'm talking about. I calmly explain that during his daytime duel, his face was pale and red spots appeared on his neck. Baek Gi is confused. After being assigned to Group 12, he's been on guard against Cheon Jong-gyum from Poison Demon Sect. How could he still be poisoned? Even if he is poisoned, what does it have to do with this person? Why tell him all this? He apologizes for his earlier rudeness, but says if he were poisoned, he couldn't have failed to notice when circulating his energy. Although I've never practiced martial arts before, those symptoms are clearly subtle poison. At this moment, Dr. Baek passes by, cheerfully heading to eat. I call out to him from behind. After exchanging pleasantries, I quietly ask him if he could check this friend's pulse before eating. I have a feeling he's been poisoned. The 3 arrive at the 2nd floor of the infirmary. Dr. Baek tells Baek Gi to breathe through his mouth and inhale the smoke. He takes a shallow breath. Instantly, he coughs violently, unable to stop. The symptoms on his body manifest. Dr. Baek confirms he's indeed been poisoned with subtle poison. Baek Gi is confused. When circulating his energy, he's fine. He hasn't contacted anything poisonous and always eats alone. Dr. Baek explains that subtle poison differs from ordinary poison. This poison accumulates accumulates in the stomach or lungs and gradually takes effect. Ground into very fine powder, it can poison someone by inhalation while they sleep. Dr. Baek asks him if he shares living quarters with someone skilled in using poison. On his first day at Demon Path Academy, Baek-ji defeated Cheon Jong-gyeom from Poison Demon Sect. He said sinisterly back then, Poison Demon Sect members' fingernails are like poisoned wine. Baek-ji realizes what he muttered back then meant, that damned person. But since it was discovered early, taking medicine continuously for 7 days can cure it completely. I wonder, aren't the red spots on his neck quite serious? Dr. Baek explains that during sparring, symptoms appeared temporarily because his lungs were stimulated. If poisoning symptoms were visible normally, divine doctors wouldn't exist. However, he doesn't understand how I know so clearly. My mother died from subtle poison. I was also slightly poisoned at the time. Baek-ji is very grateful that I saved his life. I tell him not to worry about it. I just don't want anyone to die from that harmful poison. At this moment, he senses a powerful killing intent. He doesn't understand what's wrong with me. I say with intense killing intent, I've been searching for the source of the poison. Dr. Baek asks Baek-ji, how about resting in the infirmary today? Your foot seems injured too. If you return to your quarters, the one who poisoned you will target you again. You're not planning to immediately seek revenge on him, are you? Baek-ji actually has that intention. Detoxification is the priority. I tell him to listen to the doctor first. Leave Cheon Jong-gyeom to me. I need to have a good talk with him now. At this moment, a familiar voice calls me lowborn again. Cheon Mu-gyeom transmits his voice to tell me the person I'm looking for should be in the forest across from the Marshall Hall quarters. If this is true, I promise to send him to the bed next to you as thanks. The two before me don't know what I'm talking about. Cheon Mu-gyeom hopes the Poison Demon Sect madman and I will fight to the death. No, it would be better if we both died. The Marshall Hall quarters is where martial arts instructors stay. There isn't a soul around except Cheon Jong-gyeom. This is the best place for him to collect poisonous herbs. Thanks to the Demon Dragon Orb, he just reached top level. With a few more days of hard work, he can train the Demon Breaking Poison Scripture to the 5th level, and its power will greatly increase. That way, even without subtle poison, he can personally finish off Baek-ji. At this moment, someone behind him asks what's making him so happy. Cheon Jong-gyeom is startled and asks who's there. The voice doesn't sound like a martial arts instructor. The light is too dim to see clearly. I question him. Seems like you're quite happy playing pranks with subtle poison. He doesn't understand how I'm here. And why does this person know about subtle poison? Those red spots on Baek-ji's neck, did you think I wouldn't notice them? Cheon Jong-gyeom doesn't react immediately. Then he remembers something. He starts laughing maniacally. Your filthy mother also died from subtle poison. I don't give him a chance to finish that sentence. This punch hits his face with full force. The powerful force sends Cheon Jong-gyeom flying like a kite with a broken string. He doesn't stop until he crashes into the rock wall. A piercing wail rings out. He uncontrollably vomits large amounts of fresh blood. What just happened? I tell him not to be too afraid. The show has only just begun. The Demon Path Academy's rules make Cheon Jong-gyeom think I'm bluffing, but his body can no longer move. I ask, do you know what you did that you shouldn't have? He's frantically trying to make his body move. Seeing Cheon Jong-gyeom remain silent, I tell him the answer. You used that foul mouth to insult my mother. At this moment, Cheon Jong-gyeom's hands regain sensation. He quickly launches a sneak attack. He taunts, you lowborn thing got careless, didn't you? The next second, his pupils constrict sharply. He can't believe I caught his attack so easily. This punch contained his full power. I gaze at him coldly. I exert force in my hand, about to crush his palm. Cheon Jong-gyeom realizes this person is serious. He must kill him. Foul-smelling poison gas surges from Cheon Jong-gyeom's palm. I quickly distance myself from him. Cheon Jong-gyeom relentlessly continues releasing poison. Half the flesh on my face is corroded away. This is the most lethal acid poison within Cheon Jong-gyeom's body. Because this poison is so dangerous, the family head warned them not to use it on fellow cult members. But when his life is at stake, he can't care about that. At this moment, I stand up again. Nano detects highly acidic toxic substances penetrating the user's face and chest, activating emergency defense mode, neutralizing toxicity and repairing damaged skin. Cheon Jong-gyeom's expression looks like he's seen a ghost. My skin completes its repair in an extremely short time. He doesn't understand what's going on. Even a Supreme Master couldn't do this. Is this person a monster? I was careless. I actually forgot that Poison Demon Sect uses poison. But no matter how I think about it, poison using trash like you shouldn't be allowed to live in this world. When Cheon Jong-gyeom opens his mouth, his teeth fall out. He starts frantically kowtowing and begging for mercy. Please spare my life. Please, just this once. I ask him if he still wants to live. Beg me to spare your life? Someone who made my mother die in such agony still wants to live? This powerful killing intent makes Cheon Jong-gyeom realize he's truly going to die. I first seal his paralyzing acupoint so he can't make a sound. Then I heavily stomp on the hand Cheon Jong-gyeom used to poison me. The bones in this hand instantly turn to powder. I tell him I won't kill you immediately today. I don't want to be expelled from Demon Path Academy because of trash like you. Cheon Jong-gyeom is instantly delighted, thinking he'll escape disaster. But I tell him in a low voice, I will make you suffer until you beg me for death. So let's start with the bones. After who knows how long, Cheon Jong-gyeom doesn't understand how he ended up like this. Why did he use subtle poison on Baek-ji? Cheon Jong-gyeom's memories flash before his eyes like a rapid succession of images. 6 years ago, he first learned about subtle poison. It was his mother, Lady Baek, who sold subtle poison to a woman wearing a red veil. Less than a year later, the obituary of the cult leader's 7th wife spread throughout the entire demonic cult. His mother detested that lowborn woman, so he was happy. But when the cause of death was identified as subtle poison, his father, the cult leader, was furious. Fortunately, the demon physician argued that subtle poison doesn't only exist in Poison Demon Sect, thus avoiding great disaster. But after the chef who cooked for the 7th wife was found to have committed suicide, the real culprit couldn't be identified. All that was known was that a year prior, the chef had contact with a veiled woman. Because of this incident, his grandfather, the Poison Demon Sect family head and 6th elder, was stripped of his position. His father also severed ties with all wives from the 6 major sects. Cheon Jong-gyeom's mother had no idea the veiled woman would use the subtle poison for such a purpose. She warned Cheon Jong-gyeom to keep this buried in his heart until death. Otherwise, even you will be despised by your father. Eventually, his mother developed a heart condition and passed away a few years later. Although Cheonjeongyeom wanted to shout that his mother didn't do it, he couldn't break his promise to her. From then on, he resolved to become the heavenly demon divine cult leader above all others, find the real culprit, destroy that sect and avenge his mother, then personally eliminate the root cause of all this, that lowborn woman and her son, Cheon Yo-woon. Cheonjeongyeom apologizes to his mother in his heart. No matter how much he trains in martial arts, he seems unable to defeat this crazed monster. If this person stays in Demon Path Academy, he'll definitely target other students. Since I can't kill you, I'll destroy your Dantian. Cheonjeongyeom struggles in terror, trying to say something. I temporarily unseal his paralyzing acupoint. Cheonjeongyeom can no longer make normal human sounds. I have Nano analyze it for me. Nano analyzes that he's saying, the one who killed your mother wasn't our poison demon sect. I'm suddenly shocked, not understanding what that means. Nano continues analyzing. He says one of the wives from the 5 major sects is the murderer who killed your mother, so please spare my Dantian. I have Nano activate facial analysis and ask Cheonjeongyeom if the murderer is really among the 5 major sects. Cheonjeongyeom nods desperately. Nano detects no significant changes in facial muscle movement. Probability of lying is less than 5%. I can't believe it. The poison demon sect I firmly believed was guilty isn't the murderer. Am I taking my anger out on an innocent person now? I then ask Cheonjeongyeom, was your mother really uninvolved in this matter? Nano detects that this time his facial muscles and pupils show changes. Probability of lying is 75%, just as I thought. He still dares to lie to me. Seeing things going badly, Cheonjeongyeom hastily says, I'm not lying. I strike his Dantian hard and scold him to shut up. As I channel my internal energy, Cheonjeongyeom's Dantian gradually shatters. The internal energy he worked hard to cultivate since childhood continuously drains away. This feeling is more unbearable than death. At this moment in the infirmary, Dr. Baek is also worried. He wonders if he should prepare antidote herbs first. Suddenly, the door is kicked open. I carry the unconscious Cheonjeongyeom on my back and plead, Dr. Baek, please save him quickly. Both Baek-gi and Cheonmugyeom are startled. Cheonmugyeom thinks to himself, this madman, he actually brought him here. Dr. Baek checks Cheonjeongyeom's pulse and discovers his shattered Dantian. He's greatly shocked. Practicing poison demon sex techniques requires the poison core formed in the middle Dantian to tightly integrate with the internal energy of the lower Dantian. When the lower Dantian is destroyed, the poison gas disperses and naturally causes poisoning symptoms. Even though Dr. Baek isn't a martial artist, he knows how important the Dantian is to them. Although he guessed something would happen, he didn't expect it to be this severe. With so much deadly poison, an ordinary person would have died already. Only because he practiced poison techniques since childhood can he hold on. Dr. Baek doesn't know what to do for a moment. After rummaging around, he finally finds the antidote pill his master made. He warns Cheonjeongyeom, though it will feel like you're dying, swallow it if you want to live. I curse silently that I can't let him die like this. I ask Nano if it can't temporarily transfer to Cheonjeongyeom's body to personally detoxify him, but Nano states that the user's genetic information is registered and cannot be transferred to others or expelled from the body. Then I notice Cheonjeongyeom's blood on myself. I ask Nano if it can analyze the poison's components using this blood. Nano tells me to touch the substance to be analyzed with my finger. Nano analyzes that 7 toxic substances are mixed together, releasing new toxicity. I look at the medicine cabinet before me and tell Nano to quickly formulate an antidote method. Dr. Baek uses his master's antidote pill and needles to suppress the poison spread. Suddenly, he smells medicinal decoction. He lifts the curtain and finds me working on something. I say I'm hastily making an antidote. Dr. Baek doesn't understand what nonsense I'm talking about. Though these are all detoxifying herbs, improper handling can turn them into poison. He tastes it and finds the formulation perfect. He wonders if this person studied medicine. Dr. Baek says the herb combination and dosage are fine, but he needs to know what poison it is first. I accurately name the 7 poisons within Cheonjeongyeom's body. I ask Dr. Baek if he can just trust me once. Cheonjeongyeom swallows all the antidote. Seems he doesn't want to die after all. Dr. Baek tells me the preparation is correct, but next time remember to explain beforehand. I sincerely bow and apologize to Dr. Baek. Dr. Baek still can't understand if it was necessary to destroy his Dantian. Though Demon Path Academy is a place where the strong prey on the weak, this seems excessive. Not just the Academy Master, but more importantly, Poison Demon Sect won't let this go. How do you plan to bear the consequences? I thank him for his concern. I take full responsibility for my actions. Dr. Baek thinks to himself that this person is still too young. Though he always acts mature, he still has youthful naivety. He tells me it's best to think thrice before acting. Stay in the cult long enough and you'll discover that survivors aren't the strong, but the clever. I hope you can become more composed. It's getting late. He tells me to go back first. Seeing this, Baek-ji also asks, what about me? I walk out of the infirmary with firm steps. I've been obsessed with becoming stronger. Thanks to Nano, I have become stronger. But I once thought that in the undercurrent-filled demonic cult, only the strong can overcome everything. Was that just my self-righteousness? Baek-ji watches me from behind, not knowing what he's thinking. He asks me why I destroyed his Dantian. I say calmly I couldn't control my anger at the time. Plus, I thought if I let him go, he'd definitely target other students. Baek-ji is stunned by this answer. Though his judgment isn't strong enough yet, his thinking differs from other successor candidates. A thought instantly appears in Baek-ji's mind. He's about to say something when other voices interrupt. My followers couldn't find me for a long time and worried I was attacked. I apologize to them. I made you worry. Baek-ji didn't expect that person to actually have his own people. He thinks that even if he goes to Group 12's quarters now, nothing good will come of it. Baek-ji takes his leave. I'll go ahead. I wonder, weren't you going to say something just now? He tells me not to worry about it. Hyobong asks me to go to the newly assigned quarters as well. I tell them what happened tonight. Go Wangui believes the master's actions have their reasons, but now is still a time to cultivate strength. Though external interference in Demon Path Academy is forbidden for 4 years, the opponent is one of the cult's backbone 6 major sects. Who knows what methods they'll use to harm you, master? You should take care of yourself and conserve your strength. Hyobong echoes his sentiment, thinking that despite appearances, Go Wang Ui is quite practical. I also understand, because I've truly made a deadly enemy of Poison Demon Sect. I need to be prepared. In comparison, Hyobong is more worried about how the Academy Master will handle this matter. For martial artists, the Dantian equals life. It's my fault. I couldn't restrain my anger and acted without a complete plan. Early the next morning, I'm brought to the Academy Master's office. What I worried about has happened. I respectfully salute the Academy Master. The Academy Master doesn't speak, writing something. I stand quietly like this. Who knows how long passes? The Academy Master finally puts down his brush. He complains, "Thanks to you, writing the incident report took some time. Don't feel hurt because I didn't respond to you." He tells me to sit there. Li Huamayong says, "Let's settle official business first. As Academy Master of Demon Path Academy, let me say a few words. Destroying a martial artist Dantian, which is equivalent to their life, is something that has never happened in Demon Path Academy's long history. It's utterly foolish. If this is overlooked, Li Huamyong fears foolish people will repeat it. He orders student number 7, Qian Ye Woon, to return the yellow badge and reflect in solitude in the confinement cave for 5 days. I didn't expect the punishment to be this light. I thought I would be eliminated." Li Huamayong states, "Only failing the exam or killing other students in official duels requires leaving Demon Path Academy." Hearing this, I can't help but feel relieved. However, Li Huamayong warns me that returning the yellow badge means being stripped of the group leader position. Being locked in the confinement cave for 5 days means only 1 day remains to obtain a yellow badge again. I'm suddenly startled. By then, probably no instructors will have yellow badges left. Li Huamayong thinks to himself, in principle, this person should reflect for at least 7 days. Consider this a small opportunity I'm giving you. Li Huamayong's aura suddenly erupts. The powerful energy makes my entire body sting. With my level, I can't gauge it at all. Next, Li Huamayong will speak as a senior of the cult, not as Academy Master, about your foolish behavior. Li Huamayong uses his energy to isolate external sounds, because if the following words leak out, things will become very troublesome. Li Huamayong, frustrated at his unfulfilled potential, says, "I thought you'd be someone who achieves great things, yet you did something worse than trash. I'm utterly disappointed. Is that how you do things? You cause trouble and don't clean up after yourself?" Li Huamayong's words confuse me. He warns me, if you're going to do it, leave no loose ends. Yet you carelessly left him alive, planting future trouble. It's foolish. The consequence of poor cleanup is death. If you want to survive, become cleverer. Don't just see the next step. Think about what comes after. Dr. Bakes and the Academy Master's words make me realize I'm still immature. Li Huamayong asks, "What's your purpose for entering Demon Path Academy?" I raise my head again. I answer, "To become stronger than anyone." Li Huamayong continues asking, "Are hatred and anger the driving forces that support you to survive and keep getting stronger? But you're a successor candidate. As a successor candidate, must you remain immersed in hatred and anger until reaching the finish line? Your rage will destroy everything. In the end, even you will be reduced to ashes." These words make my heart pound wildly. Li Huamyong asks seriously, "Do you understand?" I answer somewhat uncertainly, "I think I understand." Li Huamyong stands up and continues, "If you're determined to survive here and become the cult's future, you must have a burning heart but a cool head. Otherwise, forget about revenge. I understand the Academy Master is right. I only think about revenge, ultimately just wanting to eliminate the 6 major sects that killed my mother. But what comes after? Revenge is only part of my path forward. It's not the destination. I'm not calm enough." Li Huamyong sees this person isn't completely foolish and can still listen to reason. If he understands his shortcomings and improves them, the heavenly demon divine cult will give birth to an unprecedented true monster. And what helps him grow won't be that drunkard's teachings, but these sincere words I've spoken. The energy isolating sound dissipates. I take out the yellow badge. I cup my fists and thank the Academy Master for his guidance. Li Huamyong immediately orders, "Take this person to confinement at once. Soon, a notice about me is posted. Students discuss among themselves. Has he gone mad?" A mocking laugh suddenly appears. Blade Demon Sect successor candidate Qian Ryu-chan can't stop grinning, thinking this person has truly gone mad. How did he even think of destroying a Dantian? He originally thought a 3-way standoff would form. Now it seems there's no need to worry about that. He alone will take the lead. Sword Demon Sect successor candidate Cheon Gyeong-un also smirks to himself. Dark Demon Sect successor candidate Cheon Mu-yeom remains silent. No one knows what he's thinking. My team members are all dejected, not knowing what to do. Go Wang-ui thinks to himself, even when the master returns, only 1 day will remain. By then, we might have to seize badges from other groups. At this moment, a voice breaks the silence. Unexpectedly, Baek-ji appears. The confinement cave at high hour the next day. I'm continuously practicing the supreme sword technique on the blue jade stone. 2 days have already passed. I still have to eat this bitter hard thing for 3 more days. I don't know if it's because it's damp and stuffy, but I'm sweating profusely. An ordinary student probably couldn't last a day here. Though this is narrower than a personal training room, at least no one's watching inside. At this moment, the stone door suddenly opens. I wonder, it's not time to open the door yet. And who is this person? Why is he radiating such killing intent toward me? The visitor slowly raises his hand. My body instantly loses control and floats up, its void grasping. The person says ominously, "So you're Cheon Ye Woon. Last night, Cheon Jong-gyeom was sent back to Poison Demon Sect's estate." Poison Demon Sect Lord Baek-oh sees the report and trembles with rage. The other elders unanimously agree they can't just wait for that person to leave Demon Path Academy. They devise various methods to put him to death. But Baek-oh understands what Poison Demon Sect became after Lady Shua's death 6 years ago. After that incident, the cult leader kept his distance from the 6 major sects and sought to weaken their power whenever he could find a reason. He understands that harming a student who entered Demon Path Academy would give the cult leader that reason. Baek-oh plans to personally meet the Left Guardian. At this moment, I'm being firmly suppressed by Baek-oh. Even using full internal power, I can't resist. I understand this is an unfathomably skilled master. Intense hostility radiates boiling killing intent. Though I don't know how such a master appeared in the confinement cave, he definitely has ill intentions toward me. I start twisting my muscles with full force. Baek-oh is also startled. This person isn't using internal energy but brute force to resist. Is there someone with such strong external cultivation? Baek-oh knows this can't continue. I'm firmly gripped by the neck. Nano senses the threat and is about to activate emergency defense mode. I hastily tell it to wait. Rash confrontation will cause internal injuries. This person clearly has some purpose in coming for me. Baeko didn't expect that the one who did that to his grandson would be quite impressive. Only now do I understand. This person is the poison demon sect lord, strange poison demon staff Baeko. Baeko is surprised this person is only at his coming of age year. Before death, he shows no trace of fear but rather a streak of viciousness. He thinks it seems a lesson is still needed. I'm heavily struck and sent flying into the stone wall. Immediately after, Baeko continues channeling his energy. I fly back into his hands. Baeko thought this would extinguish his arrogance, yet his viciousness doesn't diminish at all. He thinks that if he lets this person go, there will surely be grave consequences in the future. The force in Baeko's hand gradually increases. I ask him, do you want to violate the cult's rules and kill me? Baeko sneers, if I kill you and destroy all evidence with acid poison, who do you think will notice? I answer calmly, traces can be erased, but if I disappear, poison demon sect will naturally be suspected first. Baeko assures me, the moment you leave Demon Path Academy, I'll make you experience unimaginable pain. I'll tear you to pieces, subject you to death by 1,000 cuts and feed you to wild beasts, then destroy your Dantian, and until your last breath, you'll beg me for death. Baeko channels his energy again. He forcibly opens my mouth. This time he uses sound transmission to tell me he's giving me a small gift, to make you meet me soon. I'm forced to swallow something. Baeko continues with sound transmission saying this poison won't threaten your life, but if you tell anyone about swallowing the pill just now, even if I'm suspected, I will definitely kill you. Baeko turns and says, we'll meet again in the future. He leaves the confinement cave just like that. I stare intently at his retreating figure. Li Hua Mayong asks Baeko, didn't we already have an agreement? Baeko apologizes. I couldn't help but give him a small lesson, but not enough to cause internal injuries. Don't worry about it. Li Hua Mayong sighs. He reminds Baeko to remember the agreement. You can't harm him during these 4 years at Demon Path Academy. Baeko tells him not to worry. Li Hua Mayong turns to look at the confinement cave. He thinks to himself, the time I can protect you from external harm is only 4 years. After that, your survival will depend on yourself. Chion Yo Woon. Nano detects toxic substances entering the body through the user's esophagus. I hastily tell it to expel them immediately, but Nano states that the poison's effect is to disperse partial energy. If the toxic components are removed, it can stimulate the Dantian and activate energy like the Demon Dragon Orb. I understand. Baeko wants to weaken my internal energy, so I fail the 3rd stage exam and get eliminated from Demon Path Academy. I'm truly sorry. If I didn't have Nano inside me, I'd have to follow your plan. Nano quickly extracts the toxic components and expels them from the body. The intense foul smell makes me cover my nose. According to Nano, the remaining substance can produce the same effect as the Demon Dragon Orb. I begin circulating energy using the Limitless Heaven technique. Nano also begins promoting the user's metabolism to maximize the medicine's effectiveness. Absorption complete. I slowly open my eyes. It's truly incredible. My 1 cycle of internal energy has increased to 1.5 cycles. Strange poison demon staff practically gave me a great gift. But then again, without Nano, there would truly be big trouble. Everything is due to my wrong judgment. I resolve to never make foolish judgments again. After wiping myself clean with my upper garment, this clothing truly can't be worn anymore. My greatly increased internal energy allows me to keenly sense a faint breeze from behind. At this moment, I notice a crack in the stone wall. I recall the strange sound when I crashed into the stone wall. It seemed hollow inside. I knocked twice on the crack. Without even using much force, it crumbles apart. It looks like if I dig a bit more, I'll be able to pass through here. After digging for a while, I finally break through. I expected to find a more spacious cave. Turns out it's a passage leading somewhere. I have Nano activate night vision mode. It looks like this place was deliberately sealed. I suspect something might be hidden here. Nano detects a faint luminescence inside the passage. Could it be luminous pearls? I think to myself. As I reach the end, it gradually brightens. I have Nano deactivate night vision mode. The end of the passage is unexpectedly spacious and bright. I never imagined such a place could be hidden inside the confinement cave. The exit over there is sealed off. This really is an abandoned place. At this moment, I notice some marks on the ground. They look like stone monuments, and there's more than one. Instantly, I have a theory. I have Nano display a holographic image of the blue jade stone monument from the 1st floor of the secret manual library. Then I have Nano analyze whether the marks on the floor match the placement of this monument. Nano quickly completes the comparison, confirming this is where the 1st floor monument originally stood. I have Nano continue analyzing the original location of the 2nd floor monument. The 2nd floor monument's location is quickly determined. Indeed, this is where those blue jade stone monuments originally stood, but I don't understand why they didn't move all those monuments to one place, instead displaying them on different floors. And what exactly is that stone peak? On the front of the stone peak are 4 bold characters: Heavenly Demon Sword Art. When thinking of the cult leader, the strongest member of the Heavenly Demon Divine Cult, everyone thinks of one martial art. That is the Heavenly Demon Divine Art, called the peerless and unmatched divine technique of the demonic path. It's one of the 3 great divine arts in the martial world, but I've never once heard of the Heavenly Demon Sword Art. I don't even know if it's an internal cultivation method or a sword technique. According to Guard Jang, the first martial art the cult leader mastered was called the Heavenly Demon Sword Technique. Could that be the name of the supreme sword technique on the blue jade stone monuments? After comparing the text on the stone peak with the poetry on the monuments, Nano discovers the handwriting is identical. I recall the guard warrior on the 1st floor of the secret manual library once said that the monuments were rumored to contain the sword technique with the insights of the Heavenly Demon Ancestor. I finally understand. The true name of the supreme sword technique containing the Heavenly Demon Ancestor's final insights is the Heavenly Demon Sword Art. There are also some holes on the stone peak, resembling an ascending dragon. I begin to ponder what this means. Could it be related to the number of holes again? There are 24 holes in total. Other than the Heavenly Demon Sword Art having 24 forms, I can't find any connection. There must be something. Why would they make the holes in the shape of an ascending dragon? Suddenly, inspiration strikes. Since it's it's in the shape of an ascending dragon. Could the secret be in the sky? A vast expanse of dazzling luminous pearls blinds the eyes. I deduce that instead of using darkness, they used light to hide the secret. Reverse thinking? Indeed, nothing left behind by the ancestor is easy to obtain. I ask Nano, can you adjust the light entering my vision? Nano adjusts the light through light vision mode. I finally discover that tiny characters are carved on those luminous pearls, so that's how it is. I have Nano scan all the luminous pearls with inscriptions, display them as holographic images so I can view them up close, then separate the luminous pearls with martial arts formulas or related content. Nano reports discovering sentences and diagrams resembling cultivation formulas on 24 luminous pearls. The sight before me makes my heart race wildly. So that's what those dots carved on the stone peak meant. I have Nano remove all the rest, leaving only the 24 luminous pearls. I unexpectedly discover that although these are cultivation formulas, they don't require circulating internal energy to specific acupoints while performing movements like technique formulas do. Moreover, these movements are identical to one of the 24 forms of the Heavenly Demon Sword Art. This is truly incredible. These are all forms of the Heavenly Demon Sword Art. Generally, cultivation formulas for circulating internal energy are practiced sitting cross-legged or lying in a position that facilitates breathing. I have Nano transfer the formulas carved on the luminous pearls and the corresponding movements to me in order from the dragon's head to tail. I begin breathing while circulating internal energy to the acupoints, according to the formula's instructions. Nano detects that powerful energy is rapidly surging through all 14 meridians in my body. Nano begins data analysis and storage. Outside the confinement cave, the instructor yawns boredly. Tirelessly, I practice the cultivation method from the luminous pearls without knowing how long has passed. My speed actually keeps getting faster. After who knows how long, I ask Nano how long I've been doing this. Nano tells me I've been moving continuously for 4 hours. After 4 hours of movement, not only do I not feel tired, but I feel invigorated. Each repetition makes circulating internal energy faster. Nano explains that the energy circulation is indeed getting faster. Is that so? Then let me try simply circulating internal energy. It's definitely faster. As circulating internal energy becomes faster, I can also release energy more freely. The limitless heaven technique can't even compare to this. This is truly a supreme cultivation method. To actually integrate forms, techniques, and cultivation methods into one. I think I know why it's called a sword art. The heavenly demon ancestor was truly a divine being. I respectfully kneel down, thinking, Ancestor, your descendant is still lacking. Please accept this descendant's bow. 4 days after I was confined, Cheon Ryu Chan, the blade demon sex successor candidate, seized 4 yellow badges. Chang Gyung Un, the sword demon sex successor candidate, seized 2 yellow badges. Sima Zhuo, student number 700 from the Siwu sect, has 2 badges. Besides them, 7 other students each have 1 badge. Now only Hu Zhenchang, the chief martial instructor, still has a badge. What Go Wang Yi worried about has finally happened. Heobong is dissatisfied that those 3 collected so many badges and yet no one can criticize or seize their badges. This almost made our group dangerous too, but it also filtered out some people. Wang Qian and Hode Mayang, who once vowed to serve their lord loyally, left the group without hesitation after their lord was punished. The scene falls into silence for a moment. Seeing the atmosphere too gloomy, Heobong encourages everyone not to think so negatively. 2 bad guys left, but didn't we gain Baekji who can fight 100 alone? Baekji responds speechlessly, don't flatter me. Go Wang Yi thanks Baekji, saying without you, we and our lord would have fallen into an even greater crisis. The others also express gratitude. If Baekji hadn't defeated the martial instructor and obtained the badge 4 days ago, everyone might have scattered. Baekji says he just owes student number 7 a great debt and wants to help him, but doesn't know if he'll accept me. Go Wang Yi affirms. If our lord was dissatisfied with you, there'd be no reason to help you, right? Everyone decides to practice the 7 demon swords more before dinner to ease their lord's burden. At dinner time, Baekji leaves alone. He says he normally doesn't eat lunch, only dinner. Thanks to you all, I ate lunch. In that case, Go Wang Yi won't eat either. Although Baekji is the temporary leader, Go Wang Yi still wants to protect him. Baekji explains he's going straight to the personal training room. No need to worry. Anyway, after leaving the training room, everyone will return to the quarters together. He tells Go Wang Yi to go eat. The other members can see this glutton is conflicted. Ojong suggests he and Heobong will follow along. You go eat. The 2 happily decide. Heobong thinks to himself, I didn't say I agreed. They quickly catch up. Ojong says, we can't let you, our temporary leader, get beaten up everywhere. Baekji chuckles. He says, if you're so worried, when student number 7 comes out, you won't be able to eat well. Soon they arrive at the personal training room. Baekji is the first to notice something's wrong. He shields the 2 who haven't reacted yet behind him. Suddenly, a large group emerges from the shadows. They surround the 3 completely. Baekji notices these people are carrying wooden swords. Looks like they prepared and waited here for us. Someone walks out from the crowd. It's none other than He Yiming, who has a grudge against their lord. Baekji's former group members sarcastically say he abandoned his teammates and looks quite happy with others. Ojong angrily demands, what are you doing? He Yiming says coldly, hand over the yellow badge. But how could Baekji obediently listen to him? However, He Yiming knows they're that damned student number 7's lackeys. Even if they hand over the badge directly, he won't let it go. Baekji doesn't know what to do for a moment. Even though he's reached peak level, it's not enough to handle 30 students with first-rate internal energy. Plus this guy called He Yiming is certainly at a similar level. Baekji uses sound transmission to tell Ojong to take the yellow badge and escape with Heobong. He'll find a way to hold these people off. Ojong isn't stupid and knows this is currently the best option. He Yiming sees they're using sound transmission for some trick. He commands the others to attack. Baekji quickly tears off the yellow badge. He sticks it on Heobong. He won't let these guys using dirty tricks get away. These guys, if you're dissatisfied with me, your former leader, I apologize. He Yiming sees that Baekji, like himself, has just reached peak level because his footwork energy isn't very apparent yet. Baekji tears open a gap and tells Heobong and Ojong to run quickly. Of course they won't miss this opportunity. The opponents also notice that bald kid holding the yellow badge. Hyobong turns back and angrily shouts at these lunatics, "Who are you calling bald?" Baekji irritably tells him to shut up and run. Pursuers keep following the two closely from behind. Ojong sees that Hyobong's lightness skill is too slow to shake off those guys. He stops abruptly and tells Hyobong to give him the badge. The two split up and flee. Hyobong uses all his internal energy, wanting to go to the dining hall to tell Go Wangyi. He looks back but finds no one chasing him. At this moment, Go Wangyi is finishing his 7th bowl of rice. He wonders why Hyobong is drenched in sweat and not wearing his headband. Hyobong, gasping for breath, tells them about the situation at the training room. Go Wangyi hurriedly gets up to provide support. What he worried about has finally happened. Go Wangyi rushes to the training room at top speed. Ojong has already fallen. Only Baekji remains, facing a group alone. Looks like that guy orchestrated the ambush. Go Wangyi angrily demands, "What is this?" Cheon Ryu-chan disdainfully touches his neck. He says darkly, "The annoying one has arrived." Go Wangyi questions, "So many of you ambushing, and you can still say such things?" A hand rests on his shoulder. Baekji tells him to calm down. The one who attacked us wasn't that guy. Cheon Ryu-chan tells Baekji to remember he owes him a favor. Now the badge is taken and there's no opportunity. Think it over carefully. Baekji replies, "Although you helped me, I haven't changed my mind." Cheon Ryu-chan tells him to think slowly. There's still plenty of time anyway. Everyone else has left. Go Wangyi finally sits on the ground exhausted. Baekji apologizes to everyone. The yellow badge was still taken in the end. Ojong held out until the end to protect the yellow badge. Hyobong can't help but curse those damn guys. Go Wangyi asks Baekji what happened. It turns out that although Ojong took the yellow badge from Hyobong and fled desperately, he was ultimately caught by over 20 students who seized the badge. Baekji's strength can suppress He Yi-ming in a one-on-one fight, but the opponent won't give him a one-on-one opportunity. Just when everything was about to end, Cheon Ryu-chan happened to pass by with his group members. He told He Yi-ming that guy is the talent he's been wanting, so how about giving him to me? He Yi-ming irritably told the guy, who doesn't have enough people to mind his own business and get lost. Hearing this, Cheon Ryu-chan flexed his finger slightly. In an instant, he knocked down the lackeys blocking his way and appeared before He Yi-ming. Cheon Ryu-chan looks at him with amusement. He asks, "What use are a few more puppet-like guys? Want to continue?" Seeing the situation turn bad, He Yi-ming orders a retreat. Baekji knows he owes Cheon Ryu-chan a favor. He asks Baekji, "It should be hard to find yellow badges now. Want to become my subordinate?" Baekji naturally refused that proposal. Go Wangyi understands that Cheon Ryu-chan urgently needs talent for the successor battle. Baekji is frustrated. The problem is there's no solution now. A group member suggests, "How about we also gather students and strike back the same way? But then we shouldn't look for our lord's people but for members who only care about benefits." Go Wangyi knows this goes against their lord's wishes. Then only one method remains. But Baekji understands the chief martial instructor's badge is impossible to seize. Even other successor candidates avoid him. Go Wangyi knows now they can only trust their lord. Hyobong plans to send Ojong to the infirmary first, then return. No matter what, he still wants to say something. "I trust our lord as much as you, Go Wangyi, but constantly relying on him doesn't seem right. Subordinates should act like subordinates and do what subordinates should do, right? If there's really no other way, until our lord comes out tomorrow, how about recruiting a few more students who can become subordinates?" Hearing this, Go Wangyi's expression darkens. Hyobong feels a bit embarrassed, asking if he spoke too harshly. Go Wangyi bursts into laughter, praising Hyobong for being right. As subordinates, of course they should work hard for their lord. "Hyobong, you truly are the #1 subordinate." The others also praise Hyobong for being proper and occasionally saying useful things. The next morning at 7 a.m., the martial instructor announces student number 7's punishment is over. I slowly open my eyes from meditative trance. Both martial instructors are somewhat surprised. This kid's body is truly perfect. The key is this guy who was trapped alone in the cave for 5 days has eyes even more spirited than before confinement. Lim Pyong asks why I'm not wearing a shirt. I take out the foul-smelling clothes. He's annoyed, asking what on earth I did to these clothes. The other instructor enters the confinement cave. He looks around. Hearing him say there's nothing abnormal, I breathe a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he didn't see the hole blocked with stones. I ask how many yellow badges remain. Lim Pyong is somewhat gratified this kid hasn't given up, answering there's one left, and whose hands that one yellow badge is in goes without saying. Lim Pyong reminds me I should be very clear it's not the only option. I also understand seizing other students' yellow badges would be simpler, but I call out to the instructor. I want to go to instructor Hu Jen Chang right now. Lim Pyong can't help but doubt he heard wrong. The other instructor asks if I've gone mad. Where does this arrogance come from? Do what's within your ability. Lim Pyong also tells me not to be reckless. Haste makes waste, act prudently. I thank them for their advice, but I still hope they can give me this opportunity. Lim Pyong thinks to himself, did this guy not learn anything from this punishment? Seeing me so stubborn, Lim Pyong has no choice. He reminds me to avoid getting injured, otherwise there really won't be any opportunity. I clasp my fists, saying I'll definitely keep it in mind. Hyobong is trying to recruit others to become student number 7 subordinates, but they don't even have a yellow badge now. No one respects them, leaving Hyobong disheveled in the wind. This is already his 4th rejection. In that case, he plans to keep looking. A crowd gathers at the grand training ground. Hyobong passes by, wondering what happened. The next moment he sees the person he's been thinking about day and night. His lord, Cheon Yo-un. No one knows what I'm doing here. Chief instructor Hu Jen Chang comes out. He didn't expect one of the guys he most wanted to spar with would come to him. I respectfully bow to the chief instructor. He asks whether I want a wooden sword or bare-handed sparring. I choose the latter. Only then do others react, realizing it's a challenge. Hyobong can't help but break out in cold sweat. The chief instructor prepares himself. His powerful aura makes other students wonder how anyone could possibly beat him. Because of this punishment, I lost a lot. To gain the student support, I must reverse the situation. The chief instructor gestures for me to attack first. I clasp my fists, asking the instructor for guidance. In the demonic cult where strength reigns supreme, proving one's power is most effective. I flash forward, closing the distance with the instructor. The speed is so fast even the instructor is amazed, but he has already grasped all the blade movements of the person before him. Yet I don't use blade techniques. Instead, I use sword forms to fight the instructor. Facing the sudden sword techniques, the instructor is caught off guard. The two exchange multiple rounds. The instructor sees that the person before him has broken down sword dance techniques into individual forms. This isn't simple improvisation. To be able to execute sword forms at this level in actual combat, the instructor knows he can raise the difficulty. His body produces an intense humming sound. 4 techniques of the 7 demon swords are executed simultaneously by the instructor. Other students finally witness the 7 demon swords executed at super peak level. I use the heavenly demon sword art to clash with them. The watching students are shocked speechless. This guy perfectly received the chief instructor's 4 sword techniques and becomes even more fierce. This also exceeds the chief instructor's expectations. He understands he can't block sword techniques at this level. He must use protective true energy. But the sword energy has already entered his body. It's too late. I successfully send the instructor flying. The entire arena falls silent. The chief instructor spins and lands. I succeeded just like the holographic image showed. Indeed, the 7 demon swords are similar to the sword of destruction techniques. The chief instructor's body produces a humming sound again. His aura remains. I know the match isn't over. The chief instructor used his full internal power to overcome the sword force. He understands that with a real sword he could only accept death. Although he didn't use his ultimate technique, he didn't hold back either. The chief instructor is somewhat angry. To fully erupt in battle requires going all out. He expelled my sword energy so quickly. I've heard that masters who reach super peak level can expel others' energy that has invaded their body. Indeed, seizing the initiative with the heavenly demon sword art doesn't end the match. The chief instructor's aura is unprecedentedly powerful. He wants to have some real fun. Suddenly his body stirs. His clenched fist suddenly opens. I don't understand why he suddenly lost his fighting spirit. The chief instructor grins. He praises me for being truly astonishing. Progressing by leaps and bounds seems to describe you perfectly. The instructor tears off the yellow badge from himself. He thinks to himself that perhaps a monster beyond imagination will be born in this cult. The instructor places the yellow badge in my hand. He announces that today this instructor admits defeat. You are completely qualified to be a group leader. I'm stunned for a moment, then excitedly thank the instructor. No one ever imagined someone would actually seize the chief instructor's yellow badge. An uproar erupts across the arena. Hyobong rushes over with tears in his eyes. I pat them. Sorry for making you worry. The chief instructor watches the scene, deep in thought. At this moment, someone else calls my name. I don't understand why Baekji is calling me, and why he's so hesitant. Is there something urgent? Baekji drops to his knees with a thud. Hyobong and I are completely confused. I ask in bewilderment why he's doing this. Baekji seems very embarrassed. He says loudly, "Thank you very much. Thanks to young master Cheon Yo-un, I, student number 18 Baekji, saved my life from the poison demon sect's clutches." The watching students murmur. So the poison demon sect poisoned student number 18. Baekji continues. Seeing young master Cheon Yo-un, who helped me confined in suffering, how could I, Baekji, not be moved? I'm at a loss, not understanding what this awkward tone is about. Only now do other students learn that student number 7 was punished because of student number 18. Baekji's face turns purple. He shouts loudly, "Student number 18 Baekji, as a subordinate, will work even harder to assist young master Cheon." Only then do I react. Is this a plan Baekji came up with himself? The onlookers discuss among themselves. Student number 7 went to such lengths to protect his subordinate. Go Wang-yi uses sound transmission, praising Baekji for doing well, though the script was a bit awkward. Baekji transmits back, just this once, doing it as you said. Lim Pyong follows the chief instructor, concerned about how he is. The chief instructor laughs. That guy fully has that kind of strength. Lim Pyong exclaims in amazement. What an incredible guy. Such astonishing swordsmanship. Did the right guardian teach that sword technique too? The chief instructor finds it hard to say. The right guardian is a supreme master. It's certainly very possible. Lim Pyong doesn't understand. Why would a master famous for blade techniques insist on teaching a disciple sword techniques? The chief instructor tells him to go back first. He wants to get some air. He comes to the rooftop and meets with the academy master. If Li Huamayong hadn't transmitted to him then, he almost couldn't control himself. Li Huamayong expresses understanding. After all, anyone would react that way to such sword techniques. The chief instructor fought hundreds of battles with orthodox and unorthodox factions in his youth, and of course fought alongside the cult leader many times. He believes that as a guardian, if the academy master assists the cult leader daily, he should know better than himself. Chan Yo-un's sword techniques in combat clearly resemble the cult leader's heavenly demon sword technique, and are even more chilling. The heavenly demon sword technique is the supreme sword technique created by the heavenly demon, the founding ancestor of the demonic cult. It's the first sword technique of the demonic path, passed only to cult leaders. Li Huamayong understands. The sword techniques just now, though at first glance very similar to the heavenly demon sword technique, are even more excellent. This kid's swordsmanship actually surpasses the heavenly demon sword technique that symbolizes the cult leader. Li Huamayong immediately thinks of the blue jade stone monuments rumored to contain the heavenly demon ancestor's final insights. But the back of the monument was damaged. He's looked at it several times, but understanding it is impossible. The chief instructor is about to voice his speculation. Li Huamayong stops him, ordering to keep this matter secret for now. The chief instructor knows the academy master is thinking the same thing. It seems this is the better approach for now. Student number 220 walks up to me. She heard the story of my sacrifice for my subordinate and is deeply moved. I heard you employ talent regardless of gender or sect. If you accept me, Hu Shuanghua, I will loyally serve young master Cheon Yo-un unto death. Go Wang-yi's face immediately turns red. Baekji wonders why he's blushing. Student number 79 also hurriedly kneels. Although my martial skills are not strong, if you accept me, I will definitely serve you loyally. I sincerely say, if martial skills are not strong, they can become strong. More importantly, you're willing to follow me. I'm very grateful and welcome you. He immediately kowtows in gratitude. Chen Guo, eldest son of the Chen family, will work hard to assist young master Qian for life. Hyobong says dissatisfied, his behavior is too much. Go Wang Yi and Baekji think, another Hyobong. However, Go Wang Yi thought they would would receive more attention. The group still needs 3 more people. At this moment, I ask where the other subordinates are. Go Wang Yi suggests going to a quiet place to talk. They tell me what happened in the outside world while I was in the confinement cave. I didn't expect Wang Qian and Ho Dae-myung would leave me. Ma Chil and Zhou Min went around persuading others. I tell them they worked hard. Those 2 people aside, but I wonder why I don't see Oh Zhang. Seeing their expressions are all very bad. I ask in alarm, what happened? After learning about how the yellow badge was seized, I think to myself, He Yi-ming really is a leopard who can't change his spots. Baek Ji notices this kid is a bit different from before. Although he seems angry, he appears to be suppressing his killing intent to stay calm. Looks like he won't act recklessly alone like before. Go Wang Yi asks what I plan to do. I understand that since the Demon Path Academy encourages students to seize badges, although that guy's behavior was vile, you can't say he did wrong. However, it seems everyone can't just let this matter go. I announce, since we owe that guy He Yi-ming a huge debt, we'll repay it to him intact. Baek Ji thinks, this guy really has changed, hasn't he? At this moment in a secluded place, a large group gathers. The short-haired man in the lead says, according to the young master's instructions, I've already incited He Yi-ming to seize Baeki's yellow badge. Qian Ryu-chan asks strangely, are you their representative? The short-haired man says Yu Pyong-hak suffered serious internal injuries and was admitted to the infirmary. He wants to continue asking something. Qian Ryu-chan interrupts him disdainfully. You're just afraid I'll break the agreement, right? He takes out 2 yellow badges. He asks with amusement, but you haven't completed the agreement yet, have you? Didn't we agree you'd help me get Baek Gi? So where is Baek Gi now? The short-haired man suppresses his anger, asking, what exactly do you want me to do? Qian Ryu-chan says cheerfully, you don't need to do anything else. It's just that to get Baek Ji, he needs to taste an even more desperate feeling. Isn't there a saying? You don't appreciate sweetness until you've tasted bitterness. He says disdainfully, it seems none of you have the strength to be a group leader, right? Qian Ryu-chan calls out Yeonpa. He'll give this guy one more chance. Take this group and deal with Qian Yo-eun's group, seize the yellow badge. You know the method, right? I hope you won't make stupid mistakes like last time. If you get the yellow badge, you can lead these guys to form a group under me. The short-haired man finally understands. Qian Ryu-chan wants them to become his subordinates. This is damned. Yeonpa brings a group to find He Yi-ming, who is practicing the 7 demon swords with his group members. He introduces himself as student number 200, Yeonpa. He Yi-ming recognizes those behind him as the guys who attacked Baek Ji yesterday. He stops his movements and asks, what do you want? Yeonpa gets straight to the point, hoping He Yi-ming can help him seize a yellow badge. He Yi-ming thinks he's really a ridiculous guy. What benefit do I get to help you? Get lost. Yeonpa asks, what if my target is Cheon Yo-eun? What do you think? If we seize Cheon Yo-eun's yellow badge this time, his group will disband. If a group disbands twice, who would still follow that leader? In that case, he'll naturally be eliminated in the 3rd stage test. Although He Yi-ming wants revenge on Cheon Yo-eun, he heard that guy seize the yellow badge from the chief instructor. Besides cooperation, there's currently no other option. He asks when to make the move. Yeonpa answers, right now. This suits He Yi-ming perfectly. Soon, a dark mass of people find their target in the grove. He Yi-ming mocks, you guys really know how to hide, always hiding in little mountain corners. I was just about to go find this guy. Thanks for coming to me yourself. He Yi-ming doesn't understand why I'm still smiling. He demands, do you not understand the situation, you fool? I reply calmly, I should be the one saying that, right? The short-haired man with the people behind him warns them to drop the wooden swords in their hands. His sword is actually pointed at Yeonpa and He Yi-ming. He Yi-ming doesn't understand what's happening for a moment. Let me ask again, who exactly is the fool? 4 hours ago, at the clearing behind the training room, the short-haired man asks Yu Pyong-hak, are you really going to meet Cheon Ryu-chan alone? Yu Pyong-hak says, as long as we have the yellow badge, we can have our own group. But the short-haired man worries, with just 1 badge, our 20 people can't all join the group. There might be disputes. Even so, Yu Pyong-hak can't stand by and do nothing. He knows that to survive in this Demon Path Academy, you must use any means necessary. If you give up because you're weak, then everything ends. But the short-haired man still feels uneasy about using their former leader Baegi as a bargaining chip. Yu Pyong-hak tells him not to worry about what's done is done. If he becomes group leader, he promises to secure a position for the short-haired man. A voice stops Yu Pyong-hak, who is about to leave. I arrive here with my group members. Baek-gi asks puzzled, you used me as a bargaining chip? They're startled to see Baek-gi. They question whether he came for revenge for yesterday. Go Wang-yi angrily rebukes, doing such despicable things as ambushing people. Didn't you think about paying a price? The people behind Yu Pyong-hak whisper, we absolutely can't provoke that demon-like guy. I heard Cheon Yo-eun already sent several people to the infirmary. Yu Pyong-hak turns back and scolds them. You fools. We have more people. I say displeased, you're the extremely foolish one. To say such things in front of me. I suddenly grab Yu Pyong-hak's hand. I keep telling myself to control my strength. I punch Yu Pyong-hak. He immediately flies backward. This scene drains the color from everyone else's faces. Yu Pyong-hak immediately foams at the mouth like a dead dog and passes out. Hyobong angrily demands, where's the yellow badge? Didn't you guys break all of Oh-jong's fingers and seize the badge yesterday? The short-haired man says guiltily, it's with student number 108, He Yi-ming. Just as I expected, that greedy guy wouldn't give them the yellow badge. Hyobong punches the short-haired man hard in the face. Baek-ji tells him to wait. He asks the short-haired man what he meant by using me as a bargaining chip. The short-haired man answers, young master Cheon Ryu-chan of the Blade Demon sect had to seize your badge, wanting to put you in crisis. Hearing the name Cheon Ryu-chan, I pause for a moment. Baek-ji finally realizes this was all a trap, and he was thinking he owed that guy a debt. He asks the short-haired man, so, as compensation, did he give you the promised yellow badge? The other lowers his head in shame and apologizes to Baek-ji. Without hesitation, Baek-ji turns and curses them as a bunch of trash. Hyobong curses him as a despicable guy. He wants to make this guy taste the pain Oh-jong suffered. Fists fall like raindrops on the short-haired man's face. Go Wang-yi tells Hyobong to wait a moment. He uses sound transmission to ask Hyobong, are you satisfied just torturing this one guy? Trust me, I'll pull out everyone. He asked the short-haired man, do you believe in the agreement with young master Cheon Ryu-chan? Do you think he'll really give you the yellow badge? The short-haired man thinks since it was agreed, it should be fine. Go Wang-yi continues asking, since you have 20 people, he must have agreed to give you 2 yellow badges, right? The short-haired man doesn't know how to answer for a moment. The crowd immediately stirs in dissatisfaction. It won't really be just one, will it? Go Wang-yi sarcastically says, you were used like that and will fall apart. You're just pawns in young master Cheon Ryu-chan's hands that can be discarded anytime, right? The other side immediately reacts. They've been manipulated by that damn Cheon Ryu-chan. Seeing his goal achieved, Go Wang-yi reminds them that if they're really angry, they should take revenge. And so we have the current situation. Yunpa asks what he's doing. They won't be used by yellow badges they can never get anymore. Yunpa understands. These people seem to have been turned against each other. Hyobong mocks. Guys who can't get the instructor's badge because they lack strength and despicably gang up to attack others, yet talk about others sowing discord. He Yiming demands sharply, who are you saying lacks strength, you guy who ran faster than a rat? Go Wang-yi laughs loudly. He asks He Yiming, according to your words, no matter what happens you absolutely won't run away like a rat, right? We weren't planning to let you go anyway. He Yiming doesn't understand how it became like this. Isn't now the time to run away alone instead of acting tough? But if he abandons his group members here, his 3rd stage test will be ruined. Yunpa also knows that if he fails this time too, there's no chance of becoming young master Cheon Ryu-chan's subordinate. He says friendly to the short-haired man Ge Ran, we seem to have some misunderstanding. Young master Cheon Ryu-chan personally promised to take you as his subordinates. Why don't you believe it? Ge Ran asks. Then will he give us 2 yellow badges? Yunpa doesn't catch what he's saying. Ge Ran questions him. To take our 19 people as subordinates, at least 2 badges are needed, right? Only then does Yunpa understand. These guys betrayed because of this. If he can't persuade them now, the mission will definitely fail. But he also can't just promise them anything. He smiles and says, I will propose to young master Cheon Ryu-chan to let you all obtain 2 yellow badges. Ge Ran is stunned by the word propose. Yunpa thinks to himself, proposing is fine. This isn't a lie. Of course, whether young master Cheon Ryu-chan agrees has nothing to do with him. Ge Ran answers, this proposal is indeed attractive, but can you withstand it? Yunpa doesn't understand what withstand means. I explained to him it's asking if you can withstand me. Yunpa's strength is not weak. He barely dodges this strike. He Yiming seizes the opportunity and strikes with his sword. I clamp down hard on his sword. I crush this sword with force. I stare at him coldly. He Yiming breaks out in cold sweat. He can't believe I crushed the wooden sword infused with 70% of his power. Another attack comes from the side. Baked Ki kicks him flying. He says coldly, your opponent is me. He Yiming curses him as a despicable guy for ambushing. He curses inwardly that his ribs are broken again. The situation is too unfavorable. But it's also hard to escape in this situation. The lackeys on both sides also start fighting. Yonpa understands that Chan Yo-eun's group are like monsters. He can't handle them. No matter what, he must break through and escape. Baek Ji firmly suppresses He Yiming. Go Wang-yi rubs his fists together, ready to join the fray. Hyobong presses his headband tightly. Hu Shuanghua, going into battle for the first time, is equally excited. They charge into the crowd. All 3 have decent strength. He Yiming is also quickly defeated. Yonpa sees there's no chance to escape. Even resisting is futile. It will only cause more harm. Can't win anyway. Yonpa decisively kneels and kowtows in surrender. I don't understand what he's doing. Yonpa says humbly, we lost. Please, as a successor candidate, be lenient. He thinks to himself, no matter how angry you are, the opponent has knelt and kowtowed in surrender. Surely you can't still attack? Hearing the words be lenient, I feel baffled. I won't care about such things. Let them go. If you didn't want to fight, you shouldn't have done such despicable things in the first place. Yunpa pretends to be confused in terror. Don't know what you're talking about. Moreover, the opponent has surrendered. I rebuke him to shut up. I smash his head hard into the ground. Yunpa's entire face is buried in the ground. A moment of suffocation. The people on the opposite side lose all will to fight seeing this scene. I pull Yunpa's head out. I carefully educate him. If you provoke others, you must pay the price. I haven't gotten serious yet. The thudding sounds of smashing continue for who knows how long. Yunpa's face is unrecognizable. He curses, you damn bastard. Do you think young master Cheon Ryu-chan will let you go for treating me like this? I sigh as if hearing a joke. Right now, Cheon Ryu-chan is the strongest force in the Demon Path Academy. Yonpa only hopes Cheon Yo-eun will feel a bit afraid. I thank him for his advice. Yonpa sees the situation as bad and wants to say something. I don't give him the chance. I heavily smash his head down again. Yonpa immediately passes out completely. If I had really used force, his head would have shattered. Other lackeys kneel to the side like stray dogs. I wonder about that guy He Yiming. Baek Ji says he's over there, because he kept resisting. I sealed his mute acupoint and paralyzing acupoint. He Yiming curses inwardly. If my ribs weren't broken, I wouldn't be in such a sorry state. Baek Ji asks if he should unseal the mute acupoint. I say no need. Nothing I want to hear from this guy. I grab He Yiming's hand. I hold his fingers. I rotate his fingers a perfect 180 degrees. Next are the other 9 fingers. This scene makes everyone else's blood run cold. He Yiming's pupils dilate in pain, but he can only curse him as a lunatic in his mind. I tell him, Ojong should have suffered like you. No, getting beaten should be even more painful. Those who beat Ojong immediately break out in cold sweat. He Yiming swears he must kill this guy. He must. I smile looking at his punchable face. I slap him hard across the face. He Yiming's face immediately becomes crooked. I give orders to my group members. Go break one leg in the fingers of all He Yiming's group members.